Hello.
We've been listening to the White House press briefing there, hit a number of topics, most notably, or among the notable topics, we heard about the president's medical condition with the White House press secretary.
Nice.
We've been listening to.
I don't care.
Walls.
Crazy day. Another day. Drop a like on the stream. Drop a like on it. That's cute. That's real cute. MAGA. Another day on Epstein's
Good evening
Island.
from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. The Wall Street Journal just published an explosive story about Donald Trump and the late child sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Now, we have known that they were friends for years, hence the photo.
That's so cool, dude.
We have exhaustively documented on this very program their long relationship, including the footage you are seeing of the two men dancing and leering at women at Mar-a-Lago. We know that one of Epstein's late accusers, Virginia Giuffre, says she was recruited into Epstein's circle at Mar-a-Lago when she was a teenager. And of course, Donald Trump went on the record with New York Magazine in 2002.
Does MAGA really care about this? Do Trump supporters really care? Because I feel like they're more so embarrassed. They're embarrassed. And also, this is the first conspiracy theory they are pressing Trump on. So 2020 election, Russia, pretty much every single thing they take word for word and they repeat it, they believe it. They never ask any questions whatsoever. The Epstein situation is the only thing where the right wing is like looking at detail at all. So Trump is having a really difficult time bullshitting out of it.
To talk about how much Epstein likes to date young women. Quote, I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. Trump booms from a speakerphone.
Terrific guy.
He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, that quote's out there.
But tonight, the Wall Street Journal says it has newly discovered textual evidence of the friendship between Trump and Epstein and the kinds of interests they shared in Donald Trump's own words. According to the Journal, Epstein's disgraced associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, put together a leather-bound book of letters from Epstein's associates to give the disgraced financier for his 50th birthday back in 2003. Now, to be clear, this is before he is first arrested for molesting and abusing girls in 2006. The Journal says these documents were among those examined by Justice Department officials who investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago, according to people who have reviewed them.
There are so many stories about Trump and Epstein doing crazy stuff. Coming out of helicopters with like barely legal girls, 19-year-old. Some girls of ages they don't know like what the ages are. And this letter that they unveiled here is interesting.
NBC News has not reviewed the documents in question. I'm quoting here from the Wall Street Journal's reporting. Here's the description. The letter bearing Trump's name, which was reviewed by the Journal, is bawdy, like others in the album. It contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. A pair of small arcs denotes the woman's breasts, and the future president's signature is a squiggly Donald below her waist, mimicking pubic hair. Adding, quote,
nice, dude.
It isn't clear how the
So
letter
epic.
with Trump's signature was prepared. Inside the outline of the naked woman was a typewritten note styled as an imaginary conversation between Trump and Epstein, written in the third person. I'll read it to you here. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything, the note began. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that?
What do you have in common? What do you have in common?
As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Trump.
Ruh-roh.
A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday.
A pal.
And may every day be another wonderful secret.
I was saying, bro, when I talk to conservatives, I think I'm going to remember this line. I'm going to remember, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Whenever I sign off of a call with a conservative on my show, like, hey, I hope you have a good day, and may every day be a wonderful secret.
Every day be another wonderful
Be another wonderful secret.
The paper also notes, quote, in an interview with the Journal on Tuesday evening, Trump denied writing the letter or drawing the picture. This is not me. This is a fake thing. It's a fake Wall Street Journal story, he said. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women, he said. It's not my language.
I never wrote a picture in my life. That was a good quote, too, because Trump has drawn many pictures publicly. He donated them to charity and stuff. So everyone's talking about that on Twitter.
My words. He told the Journal he was preparing to file a lawsuit if it published an article. I'm going to sue the Wall Street Journal just like I sued everyone else, he said.
I'm going to sue you.
Now,
by the way, JD Vance is hilarious because his response, bro, doesn't it violate some rule of journalistic ethics to publish a letter like this without showing it to the victim of this hit piece? Oh my God, dude. Journalistic ethics,
to be clear,
they care
it's
about
unknown
that.
if these letters, this letter in particular and the collection in the bound book, are part of the Trump administration's recent review of Epstein documents. The Department of Justice didn't respond to the Wall Street Journal for comment. The FBI declined to comment. Brandy Zadrozny is a senior reporter for MSNBC, where she covers conspiracy theories, the far right, and the internet. She joins me now.
By the way, this is crazy too. So Trump said, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetuated by the Democrats should end right now. So look at this wording: pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. Now, let's say they somehow got all this grand jury testimony, all this secret information, essentially, this sealed information released to the public. That would be probably like 1%, maybe even smaller of a percentage point of what MAGA once released of the so-called Epstein files. So, I mean, they are going to try to lead MAGA along, throw them a bunch of treats, say, oh, you're a good boy, follow the laser pointer like a dumbass cat, like they always do, and hope eventually MAGA forgets because they're stupid. That's the entire goal here. Trump thinks his supporters are very stupid. But the one thing that Trump's scared about, and everyone's scared about, Trump supporters are very much pushovers, okay? So usually if he lies about the election or lies about some lawsuit that he uses his corruption to force 60 Minutes or CBS to settle, he'll lie about those things, or about Russia. He'll lie about it, and his supporters take his word as gospel. But with the Jeffrey Epstein situation, it's a monster that MAGA grew, that has grown so big so rapidly, they may have lost control of it. And it's the one conspiracy theory where his supporters are going to be looking at it in very fine detail, which is very unique for them because they don't look at anything in detail because they're pushovers and they want a daddy to worship, to tell them what to do. But this one case, I see Trump supporters getting actually upset over it. Interesting.
Holy God, Brandy, what is your reaction?
Oh, by the way, Trump releasing his medical information about that one condition with his veins not working right and his blood not being moved through his body correctly and gathering in his ankles. I forget the name of it. I'm not going to pretend to be like a medical expert like everyone's going to be on Twitter. But the fact they released a medical issue that Trump has with the actual diagnosis live publicly is insane. They never showed anything publicly of Trump being weak or sick or hindered at all. So the fact that they want to distract attention away from this story so bad, they would admit that the so-called, they say Trump is 6'4", 6'4", 250, like a linebacker in the NFL. That guy who lies about everything, who lies about winning every golf tournament, who lies about his weight, about his height, about his everything. This guy's going to admit weakness at this time when the Epstein fire turns up. It feels like they are desperate for the story to change. So desperate, they are willing to show an illness that Trump has, which is actually a pretty big deal for him because he never admits that kind of stuff.
So my first reaction was, I have read a lot of weird things on the internet, and a lot of,
Wait, why didn't Biden release the Epstein list? Someone in chat said. Because Trump, he was president when Epstein died. So when Obama was in office, Epstein got actually arrested, right? When Trump got in office, Epstein died. And then Trump hid the evidence. That's why Trump is so scared right now. Trump hid the evidence. So Biden didn't have it, obviously. Biden did not have it because Trump was hiding the evidence. That's why we heard for so long there is no tape of the prison cell. And all throughout Biden's presidency, we just believed there's no tape of the cell where Epstein died. And now Trump's back, and all of a sudden they have a video again. Think about it. How did they get a video again? The video they said did not exist. How did they get a video again? Because Donald Trump... You idiots are so stupid. I hope you buy into every conspiracy theory for the rest of your lives, bro. You're so dumb. You're so dumb. You don't even know what I'm serious about. Your brain is so cooked.
I've read through Q drops and all the QAnon lore, and some of the stuff that they picked up from the WikiLeaks documents were like...
Hey, I'm just saying, Donald Trump never ran from a big story. Except for now. Now Trump's like, Jeffrey Epstein, who cares about this guy? Why is this guy's name in the news? We should talk about anything else, please. I mean, look at me. I'm dying, right? Like, Trump is doing whatever he can to get people off his back about Epstein. I've never seen Trump so shook in his entire life until this conversation came up. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. You can be the judge of what I'm saying that's sarcastic versus serious. You can call in to my show in about 5 or 10 minutes when I'm done reacting to this clip. I might be done now if you call in.
Innocuous emails about, getting lunch, or, let's go to a pizza place, or, really...
Wait, pizza place? Pizzagate? Dude, Pizzagate? Mar-a-Lago has a gate? Pizza? Donald Trump wanted a pizza that? Epstein? A pizza that? Pizzagate? Dude, Donald Trump did Pizzagate?
Really just
Bro.
Random things that conspiracy theorists took and just erroneous conditions, error, pulled apart and created
Terror.
a whole sort of separate world, and created like a whole
Think
other
about it.
language to fit their conspiracy theory into. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Bro, it really does sound like they're speaking in code, though. It sounds like they're speaking in some type of code. There must be more to life than having everything. Okay. There must be more to life than having everything. Ooh, there must be more to life than having everything. Ooh, what else are they chasing? What kind of other high do they want? Usually if you are not satisfied in life, if you're not satisfied but you're chasing something new all the time, you might have a breakdown, or some people call it a freak off, like Diddy had. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me. It sounds like the House of Cards TV show, like crazy. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Wonderful secret. What is wonderful secret code for?
And this letter, frankly, it's weird. I don't know how else to put it. This.
Yeah, we have 32 likes. We have 400 viewers because everyone here hates me. If we get 50 likes, I'll take a call. I need 17 more likes. I'll take a phone call. 17 more likes. We're at 33.
Play is just very, very strange. And so my first reaction was the conspiracy theorists are going to eat this alive. This is going to be catnip to them. And I think that might be true. I think that's true. Because again, I think the MAGA fight against pedophilia as their number one pet project that guides them all, I think will overcome even Trump's denials. But I will say I have been reaching out to folks in the MAGA media world, and they've all told me weirdly the exact same thing, and they're really towing Trump's line.
We
They're
need
saying
9
this
more
is a
likes.
nothing burger.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk said, I know people have questions, but Charlie Kirk said, I trust my friends in the government. I trust my friends in the government, Charlie Kirk said.
That doesn't sound like Trump. I believe him. So it's...
Bro, imagine if a liberal said, oh, I trust whatever the government says. Word for word. I trust whatever the government says because I have friends there. Like Charlie Kirk said.
Seems like that's what's going to be the narrative from the right, is that's not him. Trump's writing plays now. No, not to be. But I think in the next day or two, and I'm going to be watching, we're going to see something else. This is just too good.
Did you see Stephen Colbert's show got canceled? He has the most popular late night TV show. Stephen Colbert's ratings were pretty high. His show got canceled 3 days after criticizing CBS for settling with Donald Trump illegally. I mean, it's not technically illegally, but it's definitely a bribe. Now Stephen Colbert's off air. If you know Stephen Colbert, kind of crazy.
Too strange for.
Oh yeah, and apparently Trump has a huge heart issue with his arteries and veins. So Donald Trump is also very unhealthy. And I saw someone say earlier, it'd be wild if after everything that's happened, if Donald Trump passes away before Joe Biden. After everything people have said, because they don't know Trump is dead right now. He's definitely brain dead. Please drop 2 more likes. 2 more likes, I'll take a phone call. I need 2 more likes. We're at 48.
Conspiracy folks not to jump on it.
Yeah, and to be clear, I'm already seeing right-wing MAGA people, towing the Trump line that it's a hoax, that it's fabricated. I mean, we should be clear here.
Hey guys, drop likes. I'll take a phone call. We could talk about politics on live stream. Okay, we have 100. The poll says 204 likes if you want to like the stream, but you have to hit the like button on the stream. Okay, don't just like the poll. The poll's for notoriety for the like button on the stream. So Make sure you go like the stream too. I'm removing the poll so you don't get confused because we should have 100 likes here.
We have not
phone lines are
independently
open.
assessed this. One thing I will say, just context everyone should understand. The President of the United States sues people for lots of money all the time, okay? If you publish this, you know he's likely to sue you. People should
Yeah, but does Donald Trump want to do more research into this and get even more evidence pulled out?
just consider the amount of thought that went into whether they were going to publish this on behalf of the Wall Street Journal, given the context we have seen of him going after entity and explicitly threatening them in their interview that he's going to sue when they're assessing
Yeah, Wall Street Journal is really interesting too, releasing this. You have to imagine Jeff Bezos gave the okay, right? I feel like Jeff Bezos had to say yes. If Jeff Bezos says no to this, I doubt they were. Or is it Murdoch? Wait, who owns Wall Street Journal? Am I thinking of something else?
How believable this is, or how rock solid their reporting is. That's not going to matter to the conspiracy theorists, but it matters to me as someone who's trying to get to the truth.
Oh, that's Murdoch. Oh, that's Murdoch.
Famous
tabloid
rag, the
Bezos
Wall
owns
Street
the other
Journal,
one.
right? Famous, anti-Trump MAGA or newspaper, the Wall Street Journal. I have a lot of faith in my colleagues at the Wall Street Journal.
He owns the Post. Oh, I forgot. Wait, this is Murdoch? Wait a second. That's really interesting. So Murdoch, the guy who owns like New York Post and Fox News, that threw me for a loop for a second. I forgot, bro. Okay, I got a phone call.
Call from.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, what's up?
Hey, are you still online?
Yep, you're live right now.
Okay. So you just came up in my feed. I just saw, honestly, I didn't listen. I just saw Let's Debate Dictator Trump. And so I just wanted to talk about why I support Trump. I know that's kind of a weird concept for some people, that people would actually support Trump and try to put us all in one box as if we're all kind of confused, idiots, ignorant, stupid, all those good things. But I think the biggest thing for me was that I think you have to realize that a lot of people voted for Trump because the Democrats are standing on certain issues that just are totally unpopular, what I call 80-20 issues, where like 80% of the country supports
Can I guess?
certain. Yeah, I mean, I'll give you an example.
Immigration, transports.
Immigration, transports.
Trans sports, like transgender sports and immigration.
Yeah. I mean, and again, I it's just hard. A lot of people that don't like Trump are very emotional, and sometimes emotions get in the way of logic. But if you have someone like, let's say, if I ask you a question, and I'll say something like a question that I think Donald Trump, I know Donald Trump would answer with one word without any pillar or without any context. I'll say, okay, I'll ask you this question. Can a man get pregnant? How would you answer that?
I would say typically no.
Okay, so that's the wrong answer. That question only deserves a one-word response. Anything more than one word is extreme.
I would
And
say you're
80%
just really closed-minded.
of the
And you're not open to other
sorry?
opinions about the world at all. If you're closed-minded, about the world in general. So I would say that,
Exactly,
for
and
example,
that's
for
my
like
point.
a woman,
Thank
can a woman
you.
get
Yep.
can a woman get pregnant?
Yes.
Can you be a woman and not get pregnant?
And so you're really, giving me and this is the reason why the Democrats lost and will continue to lose.
Okay, you could keep on
They're
repeating the same talking points, but I'm a real person you could talk to. So like,
Yeah,
can you
no,
be a
I'm
woman
talking-
if you're
I'm just
unable to
saying
get
that
if you're unable to get pregnant? Can you be a woman if you're unable to get pregnant?
See, this is the thing. We're talking
Okay,
about.
if you can't
in
answer a
principle.
question, then you're weak. Can you answer a question?
No,
or are you scared?
No, I'm not scared.
Okay, can you be a woman? Okay, can you be a woman?
A point at the same
okay.
time.
I'm just saying, what point
But
am I
ask
trying
the
to prove
question.
then? Okay, can a woman be a woman if she's unable to get pregnant?
Yes,
Okay.
but I asked you a question. I said, can a man get pregnant? And your response was typically no. 80% of the country would disagree with your response.
If you said like, can a male get pregnant? Can a man get pregnant? So I'd probably say no for most people.
No, that's
but
what I asked.
it's really hard
I said,
though.
I said, can
Because if
I said, can a
one of the big
man get
conversations
pregnant?
here,
And your response was typically no.
Well, one of the big conversations here is that conservatives need their emotions really coddled. So I understand. I probably would answer it the way that you're saying it if I'm in like a
No,
general
that's not a
setting.
conservative. No, I'm not conservative. This isn't a conservative question,
No,
sir.
no, I'm just saying.
This is a
when we talk
common sense
about like,
question.
I'm just saying when we talk about these issues, like a conservative probably thinks that tariffs are not really a tax. They probably think that there's no Medicaid cuts. They probably think that the 2020 election was stolen. They believe things that are fundamentally wrong about the world that can be proven through actual just like numbers in terms of vote count, for example. So they believe things that are completely not true at all. Now, if we talk about gender and everything, now, and I'm definitely taking the hard position here, having to advocate for civil rights and people's rights and protecting endangered classes of people in America. So I definitely understand that. I'm not going to back off it because it's unpopular. I'll try to educate people and have the conversation. I'm definitely the least. I'm not super far left on these issues at all. I don't think. I'm very reasonable discussing them.
When you say typically, if I ask a question, and again, it seems trivial, but it's really not. It's the problem with the Democrat Party as a whole. If I ask you a question,
you said the word Democrat Party multiple times in this statement. I think the issue is that your view of politics is very team-oriented. Your view is very team-oriented. I'm people-oriented. No, the thing is, you're team-oriented.
Hold on, I can't hear you.
I'm person-oriented.
You're what?
I'm people-oriented. So I care about people having health care. I care about people taxing the wealthy enough to fund our programs to make America better.
Right.
I care about limiting corporate power to surveil us and spy on us. And Republicans and Donald Trump are doing the opposite aggressively.
Right, but I'm saying is you're actually the left wing of the Democrat Party are pushing people who would.
Okay, you said left wing of Democrats again. Can you have a real conversation? I think this is why Trump won, because your brain is so broken from the internet. You can't have a real human conversation
My brain
anymore.
is broken.
Yeah, you can't have a conversation about anything I'm talking about. About healthcare, about anything that matters to people. You have to bring
what
up
I'm telling you
bullshit
is that
social
some
topics.
things go beyond like tariffs and the economy. When you're talking about
think
teaching your
healthcare
children,
and the economy, and we talk about people surviving in America and people starving to death. I think that matter, or homeless veterans. I think that does matter. If you don't, that's fine.
Okay.
Or kids dying in a flood. I think that stuff matters.
I'm not saying I don't, sir. I'm saying there's literally 1,000 issues we can talk about, but but some issues are so extremely far out there that you force people into the hands of Donald Trump.
No,
again,
I don't
I'll ask
force
the question
you.
again.
I don't force you.
I don't
to have,
want people.
I think a lot of Trump supporters I know, are actually pro-trans, by the way, and pro-gay. I'm still gonna stand up for minority groups, even if the general public is silly on them right now. And I think the general public would be in favor of trans people.
I know.
Like Joe Rogan
that's why
is.
you're going to keep losing elections.
Well, if you want to keep on framing it as like right now, you have to understand in this conversation right now, if someone's listening to this conversation, they heard you bring up, well, this is why you lost elections 50 times. You brought up Democrat Party 50 times. They have me trying to reason with you. And now the ties are changing in this whole political thing because people like me are trying to have real conversations. You're bringing up political topics over and over again. You don't even want to try to understand other people or try to understand how to make America better. You want to keep on burying the same bullshit points over and over again. You refuse to talk about healthcare, refuse to talk about taxes, refuse to talk about tariffs, refuse to talk about anything in America other than your pet social issues.
Okay. So I'm one person in America. I'm a single voter in America.
That is true. You are a single person.
I vote on what's important to me and my family. So you have a conversation
if you
with
think
the voter.
trans people are the number one thing for your family, you're not good to your family. You're weak. You're a weak-minded person.
I said what's important to my family.
Okay, if you think trans people are the
And
number one issue for your family.
I don't want my children in schools that are teaching them that men
I'm
can
so happy you live in such a nice country where you can worry about that as your number one issue. I'm just saying I'm pro civil rights. If you want to be on Saudi Arabia's side, if you want to be on Saudi, okay, are you pro like gay marriage?
Am I what?
Are you pro like gay marriage?
Pro gay marriage.
Yeah, like gay people getting married.
I'm not. I don't have a stance on program. People are adults. I don't have a stance on that issue.
Are you okay with gay people getting married?
Sure. No. I don't really care, to be honest with you.
If you had to vote on it today, would you vote for it to be illegal for gay people to get married or not?
I will tell you that it was voted on in 2008 in California.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we can
and
we
the
can
most
Google
liberal
things.
state
I want to know your opinion. I'm
liberal
talking
state
to you.
in the nation voted against it. I can tell you that.
I'm saying, like, you yourself, if you had to vote today, yes or no,
you're trying to
gay people...
paint this as an extremist, but you don't realize there's a silent majority.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a very simple question. We can calm down. Okay. Yes or no? Would you, if you had a vote right now, you are in Congress. You're the president, or you have a bill.
Mhm.
It says, should gay marriage be illegal? Should two men be able to marry each other and two women be able to marry each other under the state? They should be legally married
Mhm.
as one family. Would you say yes, it should be legal, or no?
I would say that it should be illegal.
Okay, then you side with Saudi Arabia. You're not a real American, in my opinion. I never want your vote. I don't want to appeal to people
What?
like you. I don't care about people like you.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you're anti-freedom. That's fine. I'm not gonna want your vote.
But I'm
You're never
still
gonna,
an American.
you're never gonna support anyone that I would support. You're never gonna support you don't support freedoms. You support Saudi Arabian social policies.
I voted
you want us to
I
be like
voted
Saudi
for Barack
Arabia.
Obama in 2008.
Okay, yeah,
I
that was
voted for
before he-
Bill
okay.
Clinton in
And
1996.
you probably say Barack Obama made America racist too, I bet.
No. Barack Obama. I'll tell you what Barack Obama did. Barack Obama actually is the reason we have Donald Trump,
Why?
and it's not because of racism. I'll give you the reason why, and it's probably going to be triggering. But the reason why
I'm triggered.
Barack Obama woke up the silent majority in this country, and I'll tell you what he did.
Because he's black.
In 2008, there was a vote in California to legalize gay marriage. And Barack Obama was going about it the right way, letting the people decide. Well, the vote didn't turn out the way he expected. In California, they voted against the most liberal state in the country. This was 2000. I don't know how old you are, but this is like recent history to me. This is like 2008 was not that long ago because I'm probably a little older than you, but that's neither here nor there. So in 2008, they voted against gay marriage. The most liberal state in the union voted against it. Didn't go in the favor of Barack Obama, so he ended up going to the Supreme Court and pushing it through the Supreme Court. Okay, fair enough. They legalized it. Well, what he did, again, this is the silent majority. This is something. This is an issue that if you're not in other circles, you don't realize. But what he did was, when they legalized it, I don't even really think he did it. I think it was his people. They lit up the White House in rainbow colors. Okay.
Hey, we have 1,000 people watching. We have 1,000. Just real quick, we have 1,000 people watching. Everyone drop a like.
Did not agree with gay marriage.
Okay,
Because
and here's
even
the thing though. If I'm a KKK member in the 60s and I become more of a Republican because Democrats are pro-civil rights, I don't want to be on the side that becomes more racist as a result of people getting their rights. And I don't want to be on the side that gets more homophobic because they're afraid of gay people, because gay people get rights in America. I want to be on the side of more rights and more freedom.
That's not homophobic. I mean, you can say homophobic. I'm not afraid of gay people.
Okay, but
so
here's the thing. When it comes to policies in America and freedoms, you agree more with Saudi Arabia and Qatar and Cambodia than you agree with. You agree more with them than you do liberals. And liberals agree more with American freedoms, in my opinion, and civil rights and the Constitution, in my opinion. Now, if you want to move to Russia or China or Cambodia or Qatar or Saudi Arabia, you can, or Iran, you can move there and have their social policies. Women don't need to talk that much. You could have no abortions. You got a state-sanctioned death penalty, because I know you're pro-death penalty because you're super pro-life. You can move to those countries. That's fine. And I would never get your vote in any circumstance because you are driven by a different ideology than I think is compatible with this nation.
Right. Actually, I'm not pro-death penalty.
Oh, that's good.
And the reason I'm not pro-death, huh? You don't. So you don't. I am pro-life. Yes, I am that, but I am not pro-death penalty.
And why?
So that's the thing. You try to put people in boxes, but you can't.
No, tell me why. Tell me why.
Because I believe, and this is I'm in disagreement. First, let me just put this. I don't want to get off topic, but first of all, I don't listen to Fox News. The only news that I listen to is CNN. I don't listen to NBC too much because they're too far. There's too. But CNN, I only listen to liberal news sources. I don't like in the echo chamber. But the reason I support or don't support the death penalty is because I believe that if one innocent person is killed, that's one too many.
Okay, I agree with you.
If we put one innocent person to death, that's one too many. And that might be a different reason. I'm sure my reason doesn't align with yours, but that's my reason personally as one person in America.
Well, I add one on to you. So I agree with that reason. I think that's a really good reason. And also, I don't want the government or the federal government or the state to have the ability to kill people because the government messes up. The same reason I don't like the like ICE raids that pick up American citizens because they mess up and they might do bad things with Americans. So we need rights and due process and that kind of stuff.
I agree. There's common ground there. And I don't agree with the whole ICE thing, what you just said, but in terms of like, at least we agree on the.
Well, I'll give one example before I go to another caller. I appreciate the call. So right now they're installing surveillance systems on our highways. It passed in the big beautiful bill. So the surveillance systems are said to be going after illegal immigration. But the thing is, the ICE agents have this as well on their phone. So when this is on the highways and in their cars and on their phones, when they scan for illegal immigrants, it's going to scan all of our faces along that process. It's like the Patriot Act. Like, how are they going to find who is here? And they have to scan all of us. So that, for example, I really don't like, especially with AI, especially with all these advancements and ICE agents being unidentified, federal agents with no body cams. I think they should definitely have body cams with what they're doing now. So that's one thing that scares me about this current movement. And Peter Thiel, if you know who that is, he paid for J.D. Vance's entire career. He's really scary. Elon Musk is pretty scary. So I'll give you the final word on this before I go to another caller. But I appreciate the call.
Yeah, again, and that's another issue. I was not aware of that, but I agree with you on that as well. I'm really not pro surveillance at all, because the government, like you said, can do some bad things with when we allow them to do things such as surveillance and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's cool, and I appreciate it. I just saw you come up in my feed, and I'm like, let me give him a call. But it's all good. At least we have some common ground.
Yeah, and don't get it twisted, anyone too. Like, I'll have tough conversations. I don't hate anyone that calls in, unless if you are insane. So I do appreciate it. I hope you change your mind on a couple things, but we'll end here for now. We'll end here on common ground, and I appreciate the call. Hope you have a good one.
Yep. Bye bye.
All right, see you. Nice. Okay, phone line's open. Sri, thank you for $5. Sri, $5 on Venmo. Thank you so much. If you want to donate to Jolah Politics, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Jolah Politics. Really appreciate anyone that donates. Anyone that donates, I really appreciate you. Thank you for watching. All that kind of stuff. Or coffee. My coffee link in the bio. You can become a channel member. Super chats. I really appreciate it. Looking for I'm at 5% from my goal. 5%, guys. Huge. We had 1,000 viewers for a second. They're only here for like 10 seconds, but it's not real. But we'll take it. Hello.
Hey, cool, I got in.
That's what I always say when I get in. All right, what's up?
So yeah, this is that like live channel.
Yeah, I probably sound different on the Google Voice. I usually do.
Okay, let me close out of YouTube so it doesn't do the feedback. Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Whatever you want to talk about. I'm a liberal. I don't like Trump.
So he's pretty impolite, but the way things were going with the country in terms of other nations seeing the way Joe Biden was getting tired and just not able to do it, other nations were starting to take advantage of that. And my side comment on the Joe Biden thing, I think it's shocking that I'm pretty sure that someone knew about his colon cancer, and basically they just stuffed it aside. So in other words, the system basically just screwed over a person to keep someone in office. And that's not a political comment so much. I was
Don't you
shocked
think?
when I saw
Did
that.
you see the reports today? Not even reports, but Trump has that really bad illness with his veins not working properly and his blood flow not working.
That's crazy. So both of these guys are getting old, but Trump is not showing his age as
Oh, you must not watch much Donald Trump. Do you think it's compromising for us to have a president that is a former client of Jeffrey Epstein's?
So the stuff I heard about that is he's going to release the list in the next 3 days, which is interesting because why would he do that if he stands to
Okay, no, not the
lose
list.
so much?
He's releasing the grand jury hearings, which is probably 0.01% of the actual information the government has about Epstein. We could have got that from anyone. And those are still needing to be released by a court. So you might just blame the courts on them not releasing. But don't you think the way Trump is acting so scared about this is a little bit weird?
It is, and it would be disappointing if he was truly involved. But I still think we're electing a leader, and granted, a leader should have respectable values. But I think at this time that go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. When you say Joe Biden got taken advantage of, so when Trump took office, the Russian drone strikes on Ukraine went up by 400 to 500%. They increased by 4 or 5 times. The civilian strikes have become more plentiful than ever before. Trump went on television multiple times and said, Putin talks beautifully. And he said every time he talks to Putin, it's beautiful language. He's captivated. He's so captivated. And then Putin bombs a nursing home. And Trump is shocked every time this happens over and over and over again, to the point where Trump put up a tweet that said, Vladimir, stop. And it's really weird to me to say that Joe Biden, Russia under Joe Biden was a scared little puppy dog. They were even getting pushed back by Ukraine a little bit at one point. Russia was not launching nearly as many drones as they are now with Trump's weakness. And it seems that right now with Trump in Russia, Putin's kind of walking him like a dog. So is Netanyahu, getting us to bomb Iran. And Donald Trump has the most drone strikes of any president at this point, I think, in American history. Right now, Donald Trump has more bombs dropped in his first 6 months than Joe Biden had his entire 4 years. So what do you think when you hear those things?
Oh yeah, I mean, what comes to mind immediately is when my most famous thought that comes to mind is when it was like the leader of Al Baghdadi. He's like, if a single hair on a troop's head is armed, I will. He showed the guy a picture of his home. Yeah, America
Okay.
wields a big stick, and unfortunately, when we don't, things get ugly. So I'm currently in Florida, but I hail from Colorado. I've hailed from New York. I've hailed from Connecticut. So I've been everywhere. Colorado was the craziest state that I've lived in terms of crime.
Okay.
Um, if you want to get into it, so I lived in Fort Collins. So while that is a nice area, I'm close to like Loveland and stuff. And so what was shocking to me is you were having these. I'm saying you generally, there were apartment complexes being taken over by gangs from other countries. And I'm not saying that every immigrant is a gang member. My grandfather, from both of his sides, were immigrants. They had to have sponsors. You didn't know if they were going to go into bankruptcy and
Oh,
do
okay,
crazy stuff.
but here's the thing though, if that's happening, no one disagrees that people like that should be targeted. No one disagrees at all. Now, the thing we disagree on is unmasked, or not unmasked, the masked ICE agents going with full face coverings and unmarked vehicles going into residential areas and tearing communities apart and even detaining American citizens. And shoveling them into random detainment centers for no reason. And even Joe Rogan hates this. Even Theo Von hates this. All these podcasters that supported Trump are very strongly against this. And now Trump is -15 on immigration. So you can say all this stuff about illegal immigration, but then I have to refer back to Trump lying about the Haitian immigrants in Ohio. They were legally here, and Trump said they were eating cats and dogs and said they were savages ruining America and collapsing our culture. So when you bring up the immigration point again, like, I don't think anyone would disagree with you at all. I could probably find a super far left person, maybe like a communist or socialist might say, no, like, we don't care about law enforcement. Like, that's a very small portion of America. But any person I've ever interacted with would 100% would 100% agree with you on that. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think here's the way I look at it: is there's a lot of politics going on right now, but what we need to do as a country is reset. Is imagine, let's scale it down. Imagine you want to have a house party. Great, let's have as many people over as possible. Unfortunately, before we have all that fun and do a lot of drinking, the hot water tank is broken, the septic needs to be updated. So we can't even have all these people. We can't even house our own people.
Yeah,
Like,
but
we
the
need to
immigrants make
upgrade our
America
own
richer, don't they?
infrastructure.
Don't immigrants make America richer?
I wish. So here's what I wish we did. I wish we had I wish the IRS had more of involvement in immigration with ICE. And what I mean by that is if you're an immigrant that's not documented and you've paid a bunch of taxes, if you get to X amount, great, congratulations, you've moved to the front of the line. We'd like to continue. Or it's not the case though. More realistically, we just have to reset. And unfortunately, the guy that's in office advocating so hardly for this does say bigoted and mean things. I just think right now we need an extreme person in the office to just clarify all this stuff. We can't letting 20 million people
20
just
million is a completely fake number. I hope you know that. It's a completely fake number. It's not even 10
what
million.
is okay. Okay, let's say
Over
it's
4
5
years, it's probably
million.
like 5 or less than 5. But it's
That's
the
a
fact they lie
lot.
about 20
That's
is insane.
20% of
But
Colorado.
the thing
That's
is,
one in four people in
like,
Colorado not doing
the
enough.
thing is, when we talk about what we need to do right now in America, immigration is super in the backseat of the ultra wealthy having too much power, the AI gods building a surveillance state around us. When we talk about the federal government taking away states' rights and local municipality rights and everything, like, the fact that we are focusing so much on immigration, I think, shows that the person in the White House or Stephen Miller they do hate these individuals. They do hate people that are here and are not white. Like I see Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk said all legal and illegal foreign invaders need to be out of America. He called like Zoran Mamdani, an American citizen, a foreign invader that's collapsing Western civilization. And when he says that over and over and over again, it's never attacking any policy points. It's always attacking the person's culture, race, and skin color, whatever it might be, ethnicity. Um, so yeah, I would just say for this entire movement here, immigrants make America richer. Immigrants have a lower crime rate than naturally born American citizens. I think it's mostly cultural anxiety of why people are afraid of immigrants and a lot of fear mongering drummed up around immigration. And yeah, I'm just thinking right now when we think about like the frustration of Americans, I would 100% say that should be going towards going after the top 1% and the ultra wealthy versus, I mean, I don't know if you saw the story of the 25-year-old.
The 1%, the 1%, let's real quick. I'll agree with you. So, not that I've completely disagreed the whole time, but the agreement that I have in what you just said is look what happened in Palestine with the water supply. The EPA should have totally done a water test. It's middle school knowledge to do a water test if you're going to pull water from another area. Not only did we not do a water test, a very low in cost water test, we didn't even set up like a water bottle for these poor guys. Yet the next day, we cut some large financial institution a multi-billion-dollar check. It's like, wait a minute, we couldn't put it down a $10,000 emergency or a $10 million water supply for these bastards. We said, oh, we're going to let them drink the contaminated water from the chemical spill from that train. Yeah, there's definitely someone up top. Like, well, that was my comment about the Joe Biden thing. There's some guy, there was a medical guy that was like, this guy might have cancer or some problem. And I feel like that guy was told to shut up. And we saw the same thing during COVID. Some of these doctors having opinions, they were told to shut up and they were told to get back in line. That's
I mean,
scary
Trump
shit. I
releases
agree
no
with
medical
you.
information at all. Like when it comes to Biden, the results Biden got through his bills, I can actually see a logic to. So the Chips and Science Act, I can see the tariffs Biden did, very minimal, targeted on very specific industries. He provided subsidies for American manufacturers for semiconductor chips manufacturing in America. And when we talk about that, like that's a real industrial policy. Our manufacturing in America went up by around 5 times in total spending, and under Trump, it's going back down. Now, when Trump says all the tariff stuff, he sounds like an absolute lunatic. Like he sounds literally clinically insane. Trump talks about his dementia screening at Walter Reed as if it's an IQ test. He's like, I got everyone right. I got all the pictures right. I aced it. He
Yep.
like
That
he
sounds
doesn't
like
know
him.
like
Yep.
he said tariffs are tariffs and tariffs work because he said so. Um, like I just don't and like killing USAID and everything.
Right. And
You can be
not
mad at like
every
some
it's not
programs.
working on
They could
every
pick like
company.
one pro-gay thing in it, but our programs in Africa, the cuts they made are going to kill 14 million people over the next 5 years, and we're going to lose influence in the area. And when we withdraw our USAID and our media that we fund with it as well, China is expanding funding into their international development efforts. So now China is becoming a more dominant global superpower, and America is receding because we're doing isolationism and nationalism, and we're attacking our neighbors with trade wars like Mexico and Canada. And we're isolating America on the global stage, and more countries are turning to China than ever before. I would
Dude,
think that
absolutely.
Trump is the brain dead old stupid one. At least Biden let someone who's smart make the policies. Like what Trump's doing right now is killing our. I'll give you the final word on this one, but before I go to another caller, but it seems like I can't think of one domestic policy Trump has done that has any rationale whatsoever.
Yeah, and for sure, we'll let someone else get on the phone. I personally believe that this, like he's mean, but right now other nations need to hear that there's a big, mean, cartoonish president in charge because some of these nations, I'm shocked at this point. To be honest, I'm shocked that like Russia or China hasn't just come in and said, you're fucking done. You're fucking done. Because everyone's everywhere. Whether you agree with this or that, our politicians were talking about basic level 1 stuff that we've already settled as a society. I'm shocked that another nation hasn't come in and tried to attack us. So I guess at the end of the day, we're blessed and we're lucky to be in America where we can have all this protection and we can have all this freedom of discussion. The one thing that I do agree that Charlie Kirk says is that as soon as you stop talking, that's when you start demonizing the other side, and that's when you can get crazy things like the Cold War, because people start, it's the what if concept. That's the biggest fear. Anyway, Yeah, we
All
could do
right,
that.
thanks
if you
for the
want to.
call.
Yep, have a great one. Bye.
All right, you too. Have a good one. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Thank you so much, Sims. Thank you for the channel membership. We have 115 likes. I do call-ins on this channel, Jolah Politics. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I'll be back on tomorrow as well. I'm still going tonight. It's only 11:15. But yeah, appreciate all the donations to Jolah Politics and Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. You see it on the screen, or Coffee, the website Coffee as well. Subscribe. Drop likes. I have 116 likes. I want 150. All right, we need 34 more likes to get that number. Thank you for watching. Phone lines are open again. Only disagreeers, guys. Only disagreeers. No friendlies tonight. Only disagreeers. What is this one? Oh, it's your interview.
Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, my name is Leaders.
I'll watch this then. If you're watching right now, I just got that. Wait, who's calling? Here, wait. Refresh it. It should work now if you call in again. Everyone. That guy's spamming a little bit. This is not ringing. Why are you not ringing, dude? Yo.
I missed you, buddy.
Howdy.
Hey, I wanted to talk about the CHIPS Act for a second because I actually don't know. That it would have been very good. I'll be honest. I think it was super costly, and I think the cons outweighed the pros on it. Actually, I think it was a good thing to ditch.
I disagree. I mean, once we did the CHIPS Act, our manufacturing in America tripled or quadrupled, whatever the number is. We had a bunch of huge projects made in Arizona, West Virginia, mostly red states, for battery production, which batteries are really needed right now, for solar panels, for wind, and China's killing us right now when it comes to those things, and we need that for modern warfare. We need that for also, modern energy in general.
I think we both know it's really difficult to compete with China on manufacturing or really any industry because China operates an authoritarian regime that when they want something to move, they just have the ability to make it move. And in this country, it doesn't really work that way. So it's a little bit more difficult to get pieces moving that way. That's actually probably a pretty big disadvantage on our part. But, that's the price we pay for freedom, right?
But that's why you use the federal government for things like this. You lead the free market in the right direction by giving subsidies and tax cuts, don't you?
Right. But I mean, the cost was like twice what it would have made in wages and stuff also.
The cost for us, if we're encouraging this growth and it happens, it's a good investment though, because if we're losing to China because they have an authoritarian government, then us doing what we can at the federal level to encourage this investment as much as we can, we're not going to be super efficient with it because we don't have an authoritarian state like China does, and they are not perfect either, by any means. But yeah, I think this is the best attempt, especially versus Trump right now. He is destroying us with copper, with I think it's 90% tariffs on copper. I think he just tariffed 98.5% on other battery materials and metals that we need from China a few days ago. So Trump is tariffing a lot of our input costs.
Well, if we need it from China, we probably should wean off of that before we go to war with China, because we definitely won't be receiving it then.
You can make that argument, but then you would not just say, hey, China, screw you, we're going to cut it off instantly. We'd probably use the power of the markets right now as storefronts for us to buy the materials we need to get these factories up and running, because this is a 10-year, 15-year program and project. And
yeah, but I guess it depends on the timeline that you personally believe when it comes to when we're going to go to war with China, because it does feel very inevitable, right? But
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, that's kind of where it comes down to, because it's I'm kind of in the camp that I think it'll be within the decade. Honestly,
if we start
I just think there's not really a way around it.
Do you think we're going to start it, or do you think they will by invading Taiwan?
I don't know if they'll invade Taiwan first. I could honestly see them, because we're so we're in the Middle East right now again a little bit. I mean, not as much as we have been in the past, but we're looking over there at Israel. We're We're obviously like putting a bunch of resources into Ukraine, giving them a ton of munitions, kind of like going through our stockpile, which is not good. And we don't really have the infrastructure that we used to just mass produce these things.
Well, we should be helping
So
Europe build those things instead of being antagonistic and actively oppositional to Europe and Canada and Mexico. We should be uniting, like the TPP that Obama did that excluded China with like Vietnam and all those countries, and working with India to isolate China. But right now, if we do like these tariffs Trump is doing, if he does 50% tariffs with every single country, that's like a self-embargo. We're pretty much self-embargoing ourselves from the global markets and giving more preference to China from these countries that are going to be investing. But like the thing with China, I wouldn't even be surprised if they think they could occupy us with Iran and Russia, because we are so distracted by Iran, Russia, and also domestic issues. But the thing is, like, Trump is killing our ability to compete with China, because China does not like warfare. They don't like having active hot wars. Even with their diplomacy and when they colonize Africa, they do it through very smart and intelligent ways to get them into loans and have them default.
I mean, it's manipulative. They're kind of loan sharks, but I agree that it is smart. It's not blatant
America's
hot
kind
war.
of we're doing self-inflicted wars right now in America. Our economy is shrinking for no reason because of the policies Trump is doing, and it seems like, I mean, everything Trump has done so far has been so beneficial to just China and Russia, to be honest. I can't think of any other countries globally that have benefit more than those two countries, because America's doing worse as a result of what we're doing. Europe's doing worse. Canada, Mexico, it does not seem very good.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I really think so. This kind of ties in with my current. If you had asked me about immigration a long time ago, I probably would have thought differently. But if you ask me right now, my view on immigration is more. It's kind of a national security thing, and I'm not talking about like Mexicans. I'm not even like I'm from Texas, so I'm actually a minority in the state of Texas, right? Like Mexicans, they're like largely good people, just like any other group, right? Like it's no different. They're good people. They are hard workers. I think they do contribute significantly. But in regards to just general like border security, like in terms of having like a porous border, I think that creates an insecurity just for like legitimate foreign adversaries to come through, or for like not even just like that, not even just people, but like things coming through, you know, like the drug crisis. Like I think that's a pretty big problem. I think we both agree that the drug crisis is a problem, but we probably don't agree totally on the solutions to that, right? But I think it is a national security issue on that front too.
Well, I mean, we know people like Tucker Carlson are getting paid by Russia for propaganda in Iran. We know he's getting paid by them. We know Candace Owens is probably getting paid by Qatar or another lobby as well. So like we know people are foreign government. Yeah, like Tucker Carlson, there's documentation from Canada and the U.S. and there's the one document that was released by the DOJ that talked about someone getting paid for doing a grocery store video, and Tucker had a video of him in Russia going through a grocery store talking about how amazing Russian grocery stores are. In reality, are Russian grocery stores better than America?
It was a little
Definitely
silly.
not.
It was a little.
You're not allowed to shoot that video, right? But you're not allowed to shoot that video in a Russian grocery store and record propaganda like that without getting paid and getting permission to do it. You would never record and do it.
No, it's kind of like in the interview when they go to North Korea and they
I
go
thought
to
you
the
meant an
grocery
actual
store.
interview. Yeah, I thought you meant an actual interview. I didn't. Yeah, okay. I know what you mean.
No, the movie, the interview. Yeah, it's a little bit dystopian. I don't know. Yeah, I have mixed views on Tucker Carlson. I think he's at least mostly principled. I don't know, as principled as people can be, because honestly, we all have our hypocrisies, right? We all have our things that we fold to because we're human, right?
Hey, look up the Dominion case. Look up the Dominion case and look up all the text messages and everything that they found in discovery for that $877 million settlement, the biggest settlement in TV history for defamation and lying. You can see Tucker Carlson showing his true colors there, talking about hating Trump, loving Trump. He's going in between, like, oh, I know this is fake, but I'm gonna keep talking about it. Definitely look through the.
Well, yeah,
the
you hear it
Dominion
now.
stuff.
I mean, yeah, you hear him now. He's pretty unhappy about the Epstein stuff. He's pretty unhappy about bringing us into this entangling alliance with Israel, which isn't like of any obvious benefit to us in any way, right?
No, but what I'm saying is when Tucker was at Fox, he said things he was texting and stuff about that he knew was fake for the purpose of propaganda. The only reason Tucker left Fox is because they were going to get sued even more if he was on the station, because he already got them sued for so much money. And then he got kicked off after that, probably not as a condition, I don't think, but yeah, just as sort of part of that process of restructuring Fox. All All right. I'll let you end on something before I take another caller.
You're gonna let me in on something?
Yeah, whatever you want to bring up to end.
Oh, let me in. Oh, so you're saying
Yeah,
you'll let me in on?
I'll let you end.
You'll let me
I'll
talk
let you
about
finish.
something so you can.
Yeah. I'll let you finish the conversation here. You could bring up a final topic.
Okay. Yeah, I think I don't like the way that you approach politics. I think it's same. I think you could do a lot better by being less partisan in your politics and a little bit more nuanced. And I think you do a disservice to the party that you proclaim to support whenever you trash the other side, because it's not going to change their mind when you call them like retards. When you
I don't.
when you
I
say that
actually
they're
don't
cult,
say.
you know?
I don't say R word at all. I refuse to say the
Well,
R slur.
okay.
Okay. So
Well,
for independents, I agree, but for MAGA, I don't agree. I don't care about them. I do not care about like super deep MAGA, unless if they are
well,
independents and they feel
you
like
probably
free-minded.
should if you hope to win an election.
No,
I
independents
mean,
are what matters.
they are a
Independents.
big base.
No, independents. If you are a MAGA voter right now, is never going to vote Democrat in their life. They might not vote. They might, believe in some crossover opinions, but they are not going to be like, if you're hardcore supporting everything Trump says right now, I don't really care about that. But as far as like, and by the way, Donald Trump won by being a dick. I'm not going to stop being hard on people. If they are babies, they could be babies, but I don't think people are that much of a baby. I think you should give them more credit.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't pretend. Because I don't like this about the Republicans or the Democrats, but I don't like when we pretend that one side's good, one side's bad. I think that I don't want
I'll
to
say
say it's
bad
like
things about
necessarily
Democrats.
in the middle. Yeah, well, I'm just saying and I hear you say things like the right is like you've even said the right, not just MAGA, is a cult, and I think that the right is not as homogenous.
No, MAGA's a cult. I don't
in
think
comparison
the
to the
entire
left.
right's a cult.
I think the left is honestly more like politically homogenous than the right is. Would
Well,
you
that would
agree?
make sense. There's a lot more ways to be wrong, right? A lot more ways to be wrong. So you can be wrong in a bunch of, diverse ways. And I really appreciate that DEI for Republicans.
No, that's a smart comeback, but I think that's dishonest. I think that that like for example, like how many like do you know any pro life Democrats? Just one prominent pro life Democrat.
Joe Manchin.
He's prominent. They prop him up. He talks about it, and people are still cool with that.
I wouldn't want a pro-life Actually, there are some pro-life Democrats like Andy Beshear, I'm pretty sure, like pro-life, but also pro-choice. So he would be legally pro-choice and not anti-choice. But that's the legal reading of it. But you can still say you're pro-life and be pro-choice.
Well, it's a little bit antithetical. I don't understand. Like,
no, because you would
it's
personally
a little
be
bit
pro-life.
oxymoronic.
You would personally not get an abortion, but you would say the government should not take the ability for someone to get an abortion away from other people.
So my view on
beliefs.
that's changed a little bit, right? So I used to actually think that I used to hold a view that I hear this talking point a lot, and I have heard it a lot in the past, but that there's no reason, like, I morally disagree with it for general moral reasons, but also theologically. But I wouldn't want to legislate it because I'm pretty libertarian for the most part. So I wouldn't want to legislate something like that. And I think that it would just drive people to, seek these procedures in a more harmful way. But I think that actually less people would do it overall if it was illegal. And I think it's ultimately good at being left to the states. I think that was actually a good choice. Because it just being federally legal, I don't think that that's right, because I think that we take a lot of our power away from our states, because I feel like the average American doesn't really understand the sovereign nature of what a state is. But like, you literally talk about things like the state of Israel, like these are sovereign like entities, right, who have distinct values from one another. Like,
well, they aren't
what
sovereign
people value
in the
in
national
Tennessee.
sense, right? They're not sovereign technically,
Well,
but in America they
well,
are.
certainly not today, but like they're sovereign, like in terms of policy for the most part.
So, like,
right?
Donald Trump has infringed upon that more than any president I can remember when it comes to states' rights, with the National Guard in California and also the Marines in California. So that conversation is a little bit
Does the
challenging.
National Guard fall under the Department of Defense, or does it fall under the state government?
Federalizing the troops without the governor's consent, that is a very bad thing, and it does not happen for a reason, because we do not want the federal government to be able to militarize American streets if the local officials say no. So like that is a big Newsom said no, the state said no, the local police said no, everyone said no, and Trump said yes. And it caused more protests
Okay,
and more of an
so
issue for local law enforcement.
I think I disagree with that because let's say, okay, I'm not even saying this is the case, but let's say you had literal terrorists in a state, right? Like actual, like jihadi, like
We can
crazy
bomb them,
terrorists.
man. We can bomb them. We could drone strike them.
Right, but let's say they're there, right?
But we
And
could
then
drone strike them.
turns
They're
out
terrorists.
well, let me just finish this. This will be my last thing, and then I'll let you leave, and then I'll leave you alone. But let's say the governor turns out to be compromised, and he is refusing to allow the National Guard. Do you think that? Oh well, come on, are you gonna go against the consent of the governor and send in the National Guard, or? And also, drone striking wouldn't be good because that's too indiscriminate when it comes to civilian population. That would be a criticism for Palestine, right?
We can bypass all other rights to go after the terrorist. That's what MAGA believes in. We can put surveillance states up for immigrants. We can scan faces.
No, I don't believe in that. I'm asking what you believe in, Joel. I'm asking you.
Well,
I don't really
you
care
voted for
about that.
Palantir, which is not good. So in that situation, if we had a rogue governor, that would be a different case of them not enforcing laws at all. Okay, but California did not have those issues whatsoever. So if we hypothetically had a governor that was captured by a foreign government, okay, and they were purposely trying to kill America, then yeah, we'd probably be having some type of civil war or something, or civil conflict. So obviously, in that extremely crazy hypothetical, then yeah, there's some powers for this. But the point is, we are not in World War II. We don't need internment camps. We are not in a major Great Depression. We're not in a global catastrophe where there's millions of people dying and we need to be on high alert 24/7. We live in 2025, the peak of human prosperity, and we're doing all these policies. Like the last time a president ignored a governor's wishes was 1965, and that's because they weren't enforcing federal law to desegregate. And
there was the same thing in California. They weren't defending, like, you didn't see, they weren't defending the federal property. Like, if you look at what the National Guard did, mostly what they did was just stand around federal buildings defending government, like federal. Exactly. So why, I don't even understand how that's even an issue. Like, did they go in and start attacking protesters?
Because setting the stage for this,
that's kind of what
so
you're
the Trump
admin
is pushing the legal limit to try and send the military in as much as possible. That's why Marines were sent in, because they want to see what kind of authorization they can do to get to
No, it's because Marines are local. There's not an army. I live in San Diego. I'm telling you, there's not like huge army bases. It's because Marines are local.
Okay, why did they call 2,000? Why did they call 2,000 guard? All right, and then they said we have too many people here. He called another 2,000. They said we still have too many people here. Then he called another 200 Marines. Why would he do those steps?
How many riots were? Well, how many rioters were there? Or protesters?
At that point, the LAPD said everything was under control.
Yeah, they said that, but I mean, buddy.
We have testimony on the ground from people who were just bored because they had nothing to do in LA. Because, like, they just left, by the way. The first 2,000 just left, like, this week. We are weeks after the protests have ended. Why are they still there? Why have they been there for the past 2 months?
They were just rioting last week. I live here.
Rioting for... Okay. All right. Everything's a riot. Everything's a riot. We could justify the government militarizing American streets because everything's a riot. You are an authoritarian, then. You're okay with bypassing states' rights and
they didn't even attack... I mean, they didn't do... You said yourself they weren't even doing anything. They were just defending federal, like, government property. What's the problem?
Okay, if you want to spend $100 million for the president to send National Guard when we don't need it, there's a reason LAPD has like a $10 billion budget and they're militarized and armed to the teeth. And so we don't need to send in the National Guard to New York or Chicago or LA or any big city. We already have militarized police forces.
Sending in active reservists who are already on a payroll is hardly that much of a increase.
The big thing here that every American needs to contend with is, should the president be able to say, even when local officials and state officials say no, should the president be able to send in the guard and federalize it and say, we are going to militarize the streets? And they said, we're going to save you. We're going to save you from your local elected officials. They said they're going to come liberate LA. That's what Kristi Noem said. We're going to liberate LA from your local elected officials. Should the federal government, should a Democrat be able to send in the National Guard to a red state and say, we are going to liberate this state, even when the state says no? And I do not want that America
if you have people engaging in property crime and you see that the like local law enforcement isn't doing that, and you have an obligation to your constituents, which is the entirety of the United States, not just the states that voted for you.
You just don't understand
But
states' rights. You don't understand states' rights. You just don't understand states' rights. You don't care about them. You don't care about the local jurisdictions. You don't care about this stuff. Because if by your justification, because that bar was not met whatsoever in California. So we were not even close. The LAPD was on CNN or whatever news station. Their chief was on there talking about thanking the peaceful protesters, and then the National Guard was sent in, and then more protests happened. So at that point, when the feds come in and ruin it for everybody, and we're gonna say the feds were right because they said so, because they're like pussies and they got scared about something, or they wanted to make the story hyped up when most people in LA didn't even know anything was happening. That's not what calls for a 2,000 National Guard response. And the same thing.
Most people in LA didn't even know what was happening.
If Biden said most people did not know what was happening. It did not justify the response. LAPD has a huge
But I live in San Diego. I knew what was happening.
Okay, you're amazing. So when we talk about
over an hour away,
remember, the Americans need to justify. We have to contend with, like I said, the limitations of the president to militarize American streets, and ICE agents as well not being identified, having no body cams, and they're detaining American citizens left and right. A 25-year-old veteran was just detained. An American citizen was detained 2 days ago or whatever. They did not believe him whatsoever when he identified himself and provided ID, because ICE is just picking up whoever's there who is brown and who's brown, essentially. And we need to contend with this federal military. It's not just a mistake, but the thing is, it can't just be a mistake when the federal government picks up a human body and moves it somewhere, even when they have no legal right to. Especially when they're militarizing American streets. It's a big issue with freedom, and I don't want a socialist to get into office and have that ability to use the military that way either. So I think we all should be pushing back against it, and I'm happy libertarians are standing against it, and I'm happy even like the last thing I'll say is there's a reason Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, and there's a reason public opinion is going against Trump so hard, even with immigration, his core issue. Trump is like negative 15 with immigration because of this issue. What part are you upset?
I'm also upset. Well, I'm pretty upset with the Epstein stuff. Obviously, I think that's a pretty big issue, and it's not even just about Jeffrey Epstein, because I really think that he was just like a piece on a giant chessboard that involved a lot of people. I'm pretty upset about that, to be honest. I think it really sends the wrong message, or the right message if he really is this guy that people are purporting him to be, right? But
which guy? Trump or Epstein?
Yeah, Trump.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Trump. I don't necessarily think that he's on the list, but because of the optics are so bad, like I honestly can't say out loud that I know for sure he's not on the list and believe that with my heart, to be honest with you.
Well, Trump said this week he was never on the plane. He said this week he was never on the plane. We know for a fact he was on the plane. He was on the plane after Epstein died, I'm pretty sure. Like Trump, I think Trump like owns or at least has rented Epstein's plane.
He probably bought the plane, dude. I don't know. He probably bought the plane.
But yeah,
in
the flight logs that they released,
dude.
like Trump was on the flight log. So when he says I was never on the plane, when he says the big thing that got me, because I was never into the conspiracy about Epstein until Trump said, who even cares about this Epstein guy? I mean, he's a loser. Who wants to talk? And I'm like, Trump never runs away from a big story. He never runs away from a story. He always uses it. He uses it for something, whether negative or positive. And he seems like he's shitting his pants whenever he needs to talk about this. And now I am thinking conspiratorial. I'm like, holy shit, why are they firing the top prosecutor who went after Epstein? Why are they just ended the State Department's human trafficking
in 2019.
Unit. They just ended the human trafficking unit.
This whole thing started in 2019 whenever Trump was president. That was his Department of Justice.
But that's the thing, though. What happened? Because I don't know if you heard any different, but this video they have now of the cells, they said before they had no video, right, at all.
Yeah, they said they had no video. They said all the cameras were out.
And now this video is missing 2 minutes and 53 seconds, and it's altered.
And they had to come up. I mean, how do you handle this? So there's no, how do you make yourself look more guilty? That's everyone's pretty upset about it. I will say the most diehard MAGA people are upset about it, because you just even if you look at all these people, you look at Charlie Kirk, you look at all these diehard Trump supporters campaign for him, even they can't let it go because their viewers, the people that support Turning Point USA, even the people are so upset that even if the political pundits wanted to just get in line and move on, they just can't.
Yeah, for everyone that just got here as well, Trump put out a tweet today that said Pam Bondi should release every what was it again? Let me try to find it. It was something about Pam Bond. Oh yeah, based on the
Court
ridiculous
findings.
amount of publicity to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. So that as well is really weird to me because grand jury testimony is a very small portion of the overall case. It probably would not really tell
It's
people
a
anything.
significant one, though. It is significant.
But
So
it's
these
something
are
that
like
would
the
be guarded
testimony
from
of
people.
victims.
But it would be
That
but
would be
unless
the
if like
testimony of victims. That is
so
big.
let's say Trump helped fund it, like something crazy, and he's in some documents somewhere, or at least the people that testified were not involved directly with Trump because they have a list of like who did it, or if they cut out anyone's names or anything. Like this stuff is all like I'm pretty sure I don't know if they could legally release it. I don't know if it's fair game once it's public, but there's a lot of weird stuff going on here, and it seems like they
Yeah.
took a lot of prep
I
time
think
to
the
release
list
anything.
is murky. If they were to release a whole list of everyone who's ever like dined at Epstein's house or like been on his plane, like I don't think that would be a list of a bunch of pedophiles. It just shows these are people who are affiliated for better or for worse with Jeff. It seems like if you're just in that circle, that's just somebody who you rub shoulders with. Like
yeah,
I don't think
that's true too.
you
Like
know
Bill Gates
it's
didn't
going to
really do it
implicate
directly,
a lot of
but
innocent people.
well, some people
I'm
funded
not
it and
saying
knew
that
about
if
it.
yeah, exactly. It's going to be a mixed bag. That's why I think the testimony is actually going to be a big thing, especially if it is like we're getting legitimate like victim testimony, because these people, like imagine like how brave they were to like speak up, like go and testify against this horrendous man, and then it was all swept under the rug and none of it went public. So what did they even like? It was kind of
Well,
like
I'll
that
tell you
testimony is in
what,
vain. So it's
Trump
good.
is acting weird as shit. All pertinent
I agree.
grand jury testimony subject to court approval. Before he said credible
I don't know what
information,
pertinent
release
means.
credible.
I'm skeptical.
You can release credible information. Credible. He's very. I feel like he's
Yeah.
scared. He knows something. He's in something. I don't know what it is. I don't know what extent.
Well,
I don't know if it's just like I don't know if it would involve.
well, you have the
I don't
previous
even know.
prime minister of Israel. He basically had a room at Epstein's house in his mansion in New York. He was there like every week, and he was doing business there. Like
Well,
that's
all the
it's so
rich
convenient.
leaders
The case was
bumped
closed. The case
into
was
each other.
closed, and the case was closed like the day before Benjamin Netanyahu made his third visit. So it's a little strange. I
To
think
be
I don't.
fair,
I'm not saying
he's
that
here
like
every day because he owns Donald Trump especially. So I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go to
So
go
he's
to
here
another
in
caller.
spirit,
Thank
sure.
you for the call. Have a good one. Thank you so much, L. Thank you, L, for $10 on Venmo. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Jolah Politics and Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. You can donate through Coffee as well. I'll probably do one more phone call. Thank you guys for watching tonight. What a nice stream. By the way, wait, who's here? Pisco left me. He did not answer at all tonight, so I'm mad at Pisco. If anyone's here that's familiar with that. Let's see. I got to talk to Hutch today. Talk to Hutch. All right, one more caller. Call lines are open. True. No, the metadata says it's missing 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Or wait, 2 minutes and 53 seconds. All right, phone lines are open. How's it going? R word. Get off social media and do something with your life, loser. Stay in the comment section, bitch. The missing minute is 11:59 to 12 minutes. Hey, dumbass. It's 2025. The metadata, you can see where the recording is split up and reconnected. You can see the actual gap in time. It was 2 minutes and 53 seconds. You can edit videos to have different numbers on the screen and to appear differently. You can edit videos. So if you want to believe everything on the internet, you're going to be screwed with AI. Because you look in the metadata, you would see that you're a stupid.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hello.
Howdy, what's up?
All right. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a Trump voter, my man.
Cool.
I just wanna say that I voted for Trump because I didn't vote for him as a person, to be honest. When I make up my mind on a vote, I don't vote for the person himself. I vote for the policy and agenda. And his policies and his agenda aligned a lot with what I see happening in America on a daily basis that affect the average person.
So like his agenda to raise our national debt by the highest amount in American history.
Uh, yeah, to a certain extent. Well, towards that too, he cut many things. Like he cut Medicaid pretty much. He cut welfare. What do you call it? He actually put more money for the military, more money for ICE. So he's actually putting, if he raised the debt, yeah, but he's putting it in the right direction.
So it's good to take money away from feeding kids who are poor and giving kids health care from Medicaid and putting it into ICE and the military to go into more debt.
Well, here is the thing. If this money is going to Americans, I have no problems with it. But the issue is that this money is going to non-Americans and even illegals, which they are not entitled to that.
That's not true. It's not legal for someone to be on Medicaid if you're not a citizen. If you look at the Medicaid like fraud history, fraud reports, illegal immigrants being on Medicaid doesn't make any sense. To be on Medicaid, you have to get it approved by a doctor, which you probably have a personal connection with in some sense. And also like the amount of money in Medicaid that goes to emergency services for immigrants, I'm fine with because it helps people who break their arms or something, or help someone who's in America for whatever reason if they're working here, whatever it might be. The Medicaid cuts are gonna hit Americans. That's why over 300 rural hospitals are going to close down because of these Medicaid cuts. And the Republicans had to put aside like a $50 billion slush fund to keep these hospitals afloat barely. I had a local hospital close down that served like 10,000 people, a local hospital system because of the Medicaid cuts. And that's going to happen all throughout red areas and across the country and put thousands of nurses and doctors out of jobs.
Well, okay, I understand your point, but there is an issue that I face. I'm not really sure where you live, but I live in New York City. And I know for a fact in New York City, they don't do any medical check. They don't actually look at your legal status because when you walk into one of these places that actually offer the welfare services and Medicaid services, they tell you can come and apply regardless of your immigration status. This is like literally on broad light. And I know people that I know that
be federal though. That would not be federal though, right? That would not be a federal program.
But here is the thing. The state gets federal grants from the federal government, and then they actually direct it in that direction. So it's still federal money, but it has the state name on it.
No, because that federal money would go towards the citizens in the state, and then New York, the money they put in would go towards anyone who needs other benefits, or if someone lives in New York City and they have something for New Yorkers. Because I'd say you could be a non-citizen and be a New Yorker. I think that's a pretty New York kind of thing. It's a city of immigrants. It always has been. So like when it comes to that as well, we're helping keep people healthy. Keeping people healthy keeps people safe. It causes lower crime, healthier communities, more active workers, more active consumers. It makes everything better. And we're the richest country in the world. If you go to Australia right now as an American, you would get healthcare. Like if you go to Australia, you would get cared for if you get hurt or something. And we provide those services here as well. In European countries, they do it. In Canada, they can do it. And a big thing for me with healthcare is how do we look at America so low and so sad? These other countries with so much less money do so much more. And I think if we're truly a great country, then we should be able to provide for people here in general. And I think we should be a beacon of good things.
But the problem is, I have no problems with what he's saying, but when it goes to non-citizens, that's when I have an issue.
Like I said, the Medicaid cuts are going to shut down 300 rural hospitals. It's not just cutting healthcare from non-citizens. It's going to be 99% American citizens losing their healthcare. And then like the emergency services for non-citizens is not going to be really affected that much. This is going to be impacting Americans, the Medicaid cuts. There's a reason Republicans are scared right now. Multiple Republicans have retired. They're not running for re-election because of the Medicaid cuts. Exactly. And Josh Hawley is trying to reverse them.
I just want to say something right here. Well, we all got to agree on one thing, that these politicians are scared because they don't care that much for the people as much as they care for the vote. the Medicaid cuts that has been put in place because so many able-bodied people that they can go out there and work, and they chose not to work because they getting free money, free Medicaid, free food stamps, free all that. Why would I work? So now it's a stipulation that if you're gonna get any of these benefits, you have to at least work 20 hours a day if you are an able-bodied person. And I don't see anything wrong with that. In order for you
So
to
what
consume,
happens
you have to
is
produce.
it creates big government, layered bureaucracy, and red tape. So in Arkansas, they made work requirements for Medicaid as well. It collapsed the system, left thousands off health care, ruined rural hospitals. They had to reverse it almost instantly because it does not work. The system is set up purposely to be convoluted and complicated for people to fail off of it. And if your diagnosis is not super clear, but you need health care, then you need to fight with a doctor to get the right coding, and then you have to go through miles of bureaucracy to get health care. And after all the paperwork and everything, it ends up actually costing more money. It costs more money in the end to go through and make work requirements. It's just a way to cut Medicaid. It has worse outcomes. It's worse for every single person involved. But you're gonna, believe all these lies about immigrants getting Medicaid and food stamps and whatever else. You don't even collect a Medicaid check. You get health care. You don't get a check from Medicaid. The Medicaid fraud
not,
issue.
But the issue with Medicaid that when you look at the cost, like just walking into the emergency room just to have a doctor to put the earpiece on your heart and just to check it real quick, that costs about $10,000.
That is a supply side. That is the doctors. The doctors and providers screw people over and overbill Medicaid. The providers are the ones that overbill at the hospitals, and the companies that do providing of the care, they overbill. The people using Medicaid are probably 0.001% of the fraud. All the fraud is on the big corporation side, but Republicans are protecting those big corporations. And Rick Scott, a senator from Florida, he is involved in one of the biggest Medicaid frauds in American history, Republican senator. So if they wanted to make a bill attacking the providers that screw over the system, that would make sense. But making it work requirements to make the system super convoluted and bureaucrat heavy is the pure example, the perfect example of big inefficient government. I've never seen a bigger government policy in my entire life than what Republicans are doing with Medicaid. And also, like, we're gonna see it if they don't replace it. I know Josh Hawley tried passing something to stop the Medicaid cuts, or he pretended to try to pass it for politics.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a BS maneuver, but in the future, like, thousands of nurses are going to lose their jobs. People who have a hospital next door, those hospitals are going to close down. We're not going to be able to avoid it. But the Republicans set aside another $50 billion, like I said, to help provide those hospitals a way to survive. But in my opinion, I'd rather spend money on healthcare rather than just give hospitals free money because we're going to make them die.
Well, okay, you know what? I have no problems with what you're saying. But what I need the federal government to do is to take a guarantee from the states that they don't provide any service if you are a non-American. These people are here. The problem that most people don't understand the concept that the immigration system was established to serve Americans, not to serve immigrants. So in order for them to give them any kind of benefit, they have to be on a surplus at the end of the day. Their net has to be on the positive, not the negative. I can't have a person making me a sandwich and then give him health care that is going to cost 100 times what they produce. Now you are on a net negative on me. And that costs
the
America.
net negatives are the ultra wealthy. First off, the net negatives are the ultra wealthy, but also, like for SNAP, if you're undocumented, you cannot get SNAP. If you are on a temporary visa, you cannot get SNAP. If you're a DACA recipient, you probably cannot get SNAP. If you're here on some type of legal status, then you can probably get SNAP. But that's only people who are on some type of legal status through the proper system.
Well, it's still, why would they get that? Plus, I can assure you firsthand. I live in New York City. I have a lot of people that I know that they are undocumented, that they have some sort of legal status, that every single person almost that I know is getting food stamps, is getting Medicaid. New York City is so twisted to the point where they're giving it to everyone. I can't even believe that illegal immigrants that got nothing to do with the United States, the lowest people that ever existed on planet Earth, are staying in 5-star hotel. Listen to me. I know people that walk through the border.
Donald Trump helped Jeffrey Epstein traffic kids. They're the lowest on the planet Earth.
Just let me just finish my statement. I can't believe that there is people that walk through the borders that I know firsthand. I have dealt with these people that they let them in and they can't even write their name on a piece of paper, man. So you can't tell me that these people that walk through the border, the reason why they came
You're
this
kind of
way
revealing
because
yourself a little bit. No, because like if you view immigrants as your number one issue, then you either don't have any problems or you're just like too scared to tackle the real issues in society. If you're so mad about immigrant not writing their name on paper, it's just really stupid.
Well,
I know white Americans that can't do that, and I don't yell at them all day. I help them write it.
Listen, I tell you why I see immigration.
The hardest
as a
working
big
people in
issue.
America are immigrants. Immigrants are the hardest working people in America.
I understand that, but
you only have bad things to say.
What,
you only have bad things to say. You want to villainize them 24/7. You want to hate people. You want to be angry and hate people. You're an angry person.
No. I'm not
You're an angry
hating,
person.
man. I'm gonna give you a logical reasoning.
You bring up
but
only
if you give me the
bad things.
chance-
You bring up only bad things. If you look at the actual numbers, the ultra wealthy are the issue, not the freaking immigrants. It's never the immigrants. It's always the ultra wealthy.
No. I'm
but the
sorry.
ultra wealthy convince us to hate immigrants.
They
are the issue. Then you are a cuck. If you believe that you are a cuck, you're just you're out there. You're out there sailing somewhere.
Just give me a chance to explain myself. I have a very logical reason, and you can rebuttal it. The ultra wealthy that we always thought bad about them, yeah, they do a lot of bad things, but I can tell you something about the macro economy in general. In order for the little guy to be able to have a job, you need a wealthy person to spend millions.
What a cuck! What a cuck! For that rich person, hey, how does someone get wealthy? How do they get wealthy?
What do you mean? How do you get wealthy?
How do you get wealthy?
Do you work?
Yeah. How do you work? No. How do you get wealthy though? Do you work or does someone work for you? How does someone get wealthy?
Well, someone works for me. Well, I started as a working person, and then I climbed up the ladder.
So if 60% of wealthy people, were born to wealthy families and they're guaranteed success, did that person work to be able to own me and my labor?
That's a different story. But my point is that I need that person that works with a wealthy person. I need the wealthy person to invest in opening factories in order for me to have a factory. You just hear me out. In order for me to have a factory, I need to invest first in order for me to make an income. A factory is not going to exist by itself. I need a person to actually have the liquidation.
We should get the money from them and make our own businesses. We should if they give the money to me, you can tax me really high and I'll just own the company because they carry our society so much. They are so amazing. They are gods among us. I mean, to be honest, I want to kiss every wealthy person's feet around me and lick their boots as much as I can. I want to slobber on their big toe. My big thing is when we talk about immigration versus the ultra wealthy, taxing the ultra wealthy by 0.2% more will get us more in America than deporting and being mad at every single immigrant. That would actually hurt America. But the thing is, with the Trump movement, there is no place to build America or make America better. There's only pointing fingers and blaming people in America that should not be blamed. And there's a reason why the public is going against Donald Trump, because they're seeing what they're doing. They're not going after criminals or violent crimes or whatever. They're tearing apart communities. We don't give a shit if there's someone eating Doritos. If there's someone eating Doritos and getting their broken arm fixed. I give a shit when I see billionaires having 55 mega yachts. I don't give a shit about one immigrant getting food. I care about Jeff Bezos having $50 million weddings and having 50 mega supercars and mega yachts and private planes and killing our country and putting cancerous chemicals in the water. That's the shit I care about. I would never be such a cuck to pay attention to the immigrants over people who are doing everything to put us in a surveillance state so we never have freedoms ever again. Stop blaming the damn immigrants.
So what you're telling me that if a person comes into the United States illegally, instead of me punishing them, I should be rewarding them for breaking our laws.
You were mad at legally people. You were mad at people who are illegally here too. Don't act like you give a shit about any principles. You're mad at all immigrants. You did not You did not say one good thing about immigrants in general. You said, "Oh well, if they are here getting snapped, they have a legal status." That's bullshit. So you're not happy if they don't have legal status, or if they do. You just don't like immigrants because all the people that do have legal status, you say they're bullshit. No. Listen, you said you have given no positive word toward immigration whatsoever.
You know
all
what?
you said is if they have legal status, it's bullshit. Of course, it's bullshit. But the billionaires, we could trust all the rich guys. We could trust Jeffrey Epstein. We could trust Bill Gates. We could trust all of them with all the resources of society. We'll never ask a question. But those damn immigrants eating Doritos, we gotta freaking mess them up and put them in a cage. It's just a stupid.
Let me ask you a question. Do you live in any blue states?
No, I live in a swing state.
Okay, you don't live in a blue state. Okay, well, I live in one of the most liberal cities in the United States, and I see firsthand every single day walking up and down the street that there is Americans out there that they are moving from one spot to another, asking for a job, and the owners of these businesses, they don't want to hire them because we brought so many immigrants in that they oversaturated the job market, which in return it actually dropped the wages. I know people that
Okay,
they,
go
that they
after the
work for
business.
$5
Go
an
after
hour.
businesses. Go after the businesses. Then make them pay a fair wage. Make them upgrade the minimum wage. If they hire people illegally and abuse those workers, then we will make sure those business owners are arrested. We should do that in society.
Yeah, but
sure,
for
they're breaking laws.
For a free market, it's supply and demand.
Oh,
When you
so
have
you want a free
lot of-
market?
hold
Well,
on.
in a free market, we'd have no borders in a free market.
No. A country doesn't exist without borders.
Actually, no.
Any
The
person-
minimum wage is meant for this, by the way. No, but like you're off here because when I say this, if you want to say someone's hiring workers under the table, that's illegal. You can have a process where you go after business owners who abuse immigrant workers, and you can give them a way to pay
obviously.
taxes.
I agree with you 100%. Listen, this point,
thing in
I agree
America-
with you 100%.
But the thing in
But
America,
there is-
immigrants raise our wages overall because we move into higher
no,
skilled jobs eventually.
because the job market is being oversaturated by them right now.
It's oversaturated everywhere in a place like New York City, for example. It's going to be oversaturated no matter who you are. It's going to be oversaturated and difficult. We need more people to move all throughout the country to occupy more spaces. But we can't have that tough conversation because we can't do anything in America except hate immigrants. It's just
No.
annoying.
Listen, man, I don't hate
We're at a
them.
very
I have
low
no problem.
employment percentage
Listen,
as well.
I have
Our unemployment
no
is super low.
Listen, man, just let me tell you this. I have no problem with immigrants, but my problem is the quality of the immigrant that is coming in. Like, I look at it that there is people sitting in their countries right now that they had to go through a rigorous things where they had to go through a background check, go to the embassy, go through many interviews. They had to pay money for applications. They had to put time, energy, and effort in order for them to make it the right way. And then someone just comes walking from somewhere in the world on the border that comes in, but the person that's trying to do it the right way is stuck right there. It's unfair
I
for
have a
them.
hot
It's like
take.
a
I have
slap
a
on the
hot
face
take.
for
I
them.
think I'd rather a person in America who fights through the biggest trauma and escapes dictatorships and walks to America to work their asses off, doing whatever they can to survive. That person is what I want in America. That's a true American who is ready to break into
Understood.
freedom away from
But the
authoritarianism.
quality of
But
the
the thing is,
person,
the immigration
like, I
system
don't-
is broken. We need to fix the whole system. The whole system's not fair.
Thank
We need
you.
to fix the whole thing. But
Thank
that doesn't mean I'm gonna attack immigrants who are already here. I'm gonna try to help the process become quicker. I'll do asylum and then make the immigration process quicker, so the people you say are still waiting, yeah, we're gonna give them a chance to come to America. That's great.
No,
we need more
well,
workers in America. We need more people.
But yeah, I understand, but we need specialized people. We can't just bring people that
Then
they
we
have
need a
no
point
skills.
system like Canada. Then we need a point system like Canada.
Exactly. Thank
but
you
the thing
so
is,
much.
we
An
can't have that
American system.
conversation. But the thing is, you wanted to put money into ICE and militarizing. Has Donald Trump said one thing at all, either term, about fixing the immigration system, or just about demonizing immigrants at the border?
No. Wait, look, I'm all for immigrants. My issue with immigrants is the ones that they came in the past 3-4 years.
Has Trump
That's
said
my
one
biggest
thing?
problem.
Has Trump okay? There were bad immigrants under Trump too. Did Trump say one thing about fixing the actual system for the people coming legally? Has he ever done that?
Well, that's not in his hand. That's Congress right there. And
Oh,
Congress never will
no,
take a
but
move
Donald
on
Trump
that.
signs executive orders for literally everything. Has Donald Trump talked once about making it
Yeah, but
easier
the
for
problem
legal
is-
immigrants to come here who are in the who
The
are in the line?
The problem with executive
Has he?
orders.
Has he?
that
Or does he focus on
listen to
hating
me.
immigrants?
No. The problem
signs orders for
I'm
everything.
trying.
He doesn't
I'm
give a
trying to get. I have one of two ways to fix a problem. Either like just give it like a painkiller, or get to the cause of the problem and eliminate it. I'm trying to eliminate the problem from the root. If Trump is gonna put an executive order to fix the immigration system, he's gonna have to renew it every 6 months. And if there is another president that comes that has a different ideology or a different point of view, the second that he's not going to renew the executive order, the laws that was enacted by Congress are going to come back. Our problem is with Congress at this point.
Why
The
is Donald Trump
legislative-
not passing a law then? Why did Donald Trump get the border bill killed under Joe Biden?
I'm sorry.
I feel like Donald
hold on.
Trump does not want to fix immigration. He's never talked
Oh
about
yeah,
immigration in a
hold
positive
on.
way.
I
He's only
understand.
abused
I understand
immigrants.
your point.
And right now,
I
everyone's
understand your
against
point.
it.
Well, here is the thing, because if Trump would have given in when Biden was in office, the bill itself, they were going to put a lot of money in directions that we don't need to spend that money on.
Like what?
So he had to withdraw.
A conservative Republican wrote the bill. Langford from Oklahoma wrote the bill. He's an insane right winger.
Listen,
Are you
man.
asking for a utopia policy? It's just revealing that Donald Trump is a bullshit person with no actual strategy for anything. It's just revealing there's no strategy here. It's just hate immigrants and be mad at immigrants. There's no actual policy. There's no making America better. It's being angry and giving the ultra wealthy more
Look,
power
man,
over Americans.
I'm gonna tell you that much. I know for a fact that if you put salt in water, the water is gonna taste salty. If you're gonna keep putting salt in water, that water is gonna keep tasting salt. In order for it to taste sweet, you're gonna have to switch the salt to sugar. The bottom line. So if I'm gonna keep bringing third world to America, guess what is gonna happen? Eventually,
third
America's gonna
world,
turn
okay.
to third world.
There you go. Okay, no, you're one of those guys.
It's not
You're
a hate. These people coming from countries that collapsed.
You're
Why?
one of those
because
guys.
they adapted a certain
Do you think
ideology.
Zoran
And the-
Mamdani is bringing the third world to America?
Let me ask you a question, man. What happened in Venezuela?
Do you think Zoran
Venezuela
Mamdani?
collapsed.
We're a great country
Hold
in
on.
America. We're not Venezuela. Do you think Zoran Mamdani is going to bring the third world to America?
No, but hold on. But here is the thing: the problem that we are facing right now, that in order for us to be represented in the House and to have the electoral vote system, the census has to count people. The problem with the system right now, that
Do you
when we
think Zoran
count, we just count.
Mamdani? But you said third world country turns into third world. I mean, everyone in America is from a third world country, basically. But like, is Zoran Mamdani a third world ideology? Is he from a third world?
I'm not saying that, but I have a point to make that I'm gonna connect the dots right now.
Is Zohan?
The problem with the
Okay. If you can't respond to my question, I'll go to someone else. Import the third world, become the third world. All these immigrants delivering our packages and working in the freaking meatpacking facilities and shit. Yeah, dude, the third world. I'm at the point where I want to be around immigrants more than American citizens sometimes, bro. I'm not gonna lie. American citizens are so freaking entitled and privileged. Holy shit. Everything they say about immigrants is such a projection. It's such a projection, bro. It's nice being around people who appreciate life sometimes and appreciate the amazing things we have in America. We're so pampered in America, bro. I swear to God. It's kind of sad. It's like one of those things too, obviously, where you'll say, "Oh, they're here illegally. They broke a law. It's illegal." Well, it's not legal to drive 5 miles over the speed limit, and I bring this up a lot, and I'm gonna keep on bringing it up. But like, if you drive 5 miles over the speed limit, you get a ticket. You're not a public safety threat. In the same way, if you're here and you're undocumented, if you really want to deport someone, you don't gotta brutalize them and put them in a cage and mess them up. If they're not a public safety threat, you don't need to treat them like they are an illegal alien terrorist gang member. If you want to do that, you are showing your true colors.
Call from.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on, bud?
Not much, are you?
I'm doing all right. Hey, man, that last caller, I like that guy.
He sounded like a SpongeBob character.
I sound like a what?
No, that guy sounded like a SpongeBob character. I forget which one.
No, he sounded like someone who immigrated here legally and actually pursued the American dream and actually understands what he's talking about.
Nice.
Well, let me ask you a question. Because just based on the conversation that you were having with him, what do you consider the American dream?
The American dream is taking the best of every single country in the world and having them come to America and contributing to America. And that's how America is the most well-thriving democracy of this size in human history, because we can take the best talent from across the world, the hardest working people escaping persecution, coming to America because we all enjoy the same thing. And that same thing is called freedom.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, but
Cringe.
the guy you were just talking to sounded very much like what you were just proposing, and you dismissed him.
Yeah, because he was talking about.
He sounded intelligent. He had an accent. Like he clearly.
I liked his accent.
Wasn't
It was
born
really
here.
cool. It was really cool. So like when we talk about him using language like the third world, import them, become the third world, or when he's blaming Medicaid cuts on illegals getting Medicaid, it's all just things that are untrue.
Well, going back to like the American dream, which was brought up. a lot of people would say the American dream is doing your own thing, or even running your own business. Would that be incorrect for balancing that?
I think running your own business is probably not the American dream. It's being able to work and put food on the table and be able to thrive and have a chance to level up in life. You don't need to be a business owner, though. I don't think it ever includes that.
But then that goes against everything we're putting that guy on, because if you're not running your own business, then you're under the thumb of someone who is, which you were kind of arguing is bad.
No, I'm arguing that if we want to be able to diagnose issues in society, it's people with disgusting amounts of wealth, billions and billions of dollars, who are leading our society in a bad direction. It's not the immigrants' fault for the problems we see in America.
But you could look at all of pretty much human history and say that the people who, and yeah, okay, let me see how I want to phrase this. Regardless of whether you agree with that, the people who kind of hoard wealth, who kind of push humanity into the future, they are kind of responsible for where we are right now. I mean, you can't really deny that.
The biggest developments in human history, like the internet or space travel, or things like our electric grid and our highway infrastructure, has all been done by governments.
Space travel is impressive, but it really hasn't hurt us too much. And maybe it's certain developments, but as a whole, maybe not so much.
Okay, so everyone can hear this. You are roboting out really bad, so you can try calling back. I don't know why it sounds really bad, but you can look in chat and listen back to see what the issue is. Thank God Jeff Bezos has enough money to have $80 billion weddings every second. It really makes me live the American dream better. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe, donate to Jolah Politics, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was trying to make him out and hear what he was saying, but it was all bad. It was all bad, dude. It was all bad, dude. One more caller, dude. Thank you again, Sri and L, and thank you, Sims, for channel membering. We need 10 more likes for 200 likes. Conservatives who bring up Obama's deportations as a point is kind of hilarious, because they said Trump won from immigration being terrible and destroying America. And then they bring up Obama having an excessive number of deportations. And it's like, hey, I thought you said Trump won because we don't have that. Huh. Weird.
Call from
Josh.
Oh. Hello?
Hey, what's up? I actually just called, but you told me my connection was bad, so I tried moving closer to my Wi-Fi.
Okay, yeah, we could try it again.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, for now.
Right on.
Oh, it just cut out for a second.
Jogged my memory. What were we talking about? Oh, no, we were talking about Elvis. He sounded like he was an Indian guy.
Well, don't tell MAGA that. They'll make some really bad jokes. Really offensive, terrible jokes.
Well, believe it or not, wasn't MAGA all about like the H-1Bs?
MAGA was not. Elon Musk was, and his side of MAGA. But the Trump side, I guess Trump was in the middle. He doesn't really care about anything. But like the Steve Bannon side and Charlie Kirk side is anti. So that's what I'm saying. MAGA, like Donald Trump's MAGA, like Charlie Kirk, Steve Bannon, the true MAGA, 100%. Yeah, they were against it. But the tech bro that came to marry with Trump as an accessory, they were pro it because they want to be able to have the labor here. So.
Well, I mean, talking about the people who want labor here, it sounds like it's the Democrats that you kind of want that slave class.
No, actually, Trump said he's going to keep people here, and the farmers are going to have, they can keep watch on their workers. They could be the ownership of their workers. I want to be able to give amnesty to people.
Yeah, and I don't agree with that. I mean, I'm MAGA, but that's.
And I want to give tax numbers to them. I want to give them tax numbers, right, so they can be taxed and get, legal work. Trump did
Yeah,
that.
that's the problem. Is that no, and I'm sad to say that because guess what? Everybody who voted for Trump is not necessarily just like down to slob his knob all the time. They say that, but I especially now, I've seen that to not be true. A lot of, I don't even want to say Republicans because I don't think Republicans are very much MAGA. I think MAGA is very different from what you would consider Republicans at this point.
Yeah, Republicans have
'cause
values.
A lot of MAGA has a lot of Democrats in it, or at least
Yeah,
old school Democrats.
old
people
Democrats.
who
The-
used
like
to be-
yeah, like the
old-
Democrats that were pro-slavery. Yeah, they have those ones. The KKK Democrats. That I
Well,
hear
you say
Republicans bring them up all the Republicans bring them up all the time, right? They always talk about the KKK Confederates, the KKK party. We made the KKK, that the Democrats did. So
Yeah, I know, and Jim Crow and all that. But then they're also
Yeah, but
currently
then we
talking about,
saved-
hey, we need to get the immigrants here. We need a second-class slave labor to work the field because
okay, so
Americans
I'm
are too
pro
good-
I'm pro
the
strong
pure blooded
borders.
Americans are too good for that.
I'm pro strong borders. Why would I not be pro strong borders?
Well, I don't know. I actually don't know much of your. I try to talk to you a lot, but I actually don't know much of your policy because I don't listen to you on the reg. I kind of just come across you, and then I just hear what you're talking about in the moment.
I'm pro strong borders. I just think it's a terrible and dumb policy to deport 5 million people or whatever. I would give a path to citizenship for people. Like there's people they're deporting right now who have been here for 25 years legally, and we're deporting them. They've paid taxes for 25 years in this country. That should be instant citizenship. There's shit like that where I'm like, holy shit, this is stupid as hell. And it costs a lot of money to do deportations. If we want to, I would do a restart. I'd do amnesty and you could do border patrol if you want.
Let me ask you this: instead of having outrage over that, why don't you guys? Well, I guess you're a Democrat. I actually have no idea. But instead of complaining about it, why don't you guys get together and make a grandfather law and put that through Congress?
Because right now,
instead of complaining that we're deporting American citizens, which we're not, why don't you get together and go, okay, let's make a grandfather amnesty law where if you've been here for 15 plus years, well, here's the other problem too. It's like, okay, you've been employed for 15 plus years. Well, now you have the problem of, okay, so this company's been illegally employing someone for 15 plus years.
it wouldn't count for illegal, probably. But.
Should they pay no penalties? Like, I mean, that's
Well, you could have immigration courts for that kind of thing. It really depends. You would probably go after the company in that sense. But like Democrats have tried doing this before, but MAGA dominates the conversation and demonizes immigrants so bad. They move public opinion so anti-immigration. Now, I will tell you, right now, Trump's complete failure on immigration is making the public swing very against him. It was his strongest issue. Now he's like negative 15 on every single poll. Even Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn, I keep bringing that up, but like
I've been watching the exact opposite. Even CNN saying the opposite, where Trump's polls have never been higher.
No, on issues. So if
Even
you look at
after
per
the whole
issue,
Epstein, which is
Yeah.
I'm very.
I
against
saw
it.
that
don't-
tweet. I saw that tweet today too, but I'm talking per issue. If you look at the actual like data analysis of every poll, like if you look at them, the immigration went from like a +10 for Trump to negative 15. And it's because of these ICE raids. Now he's still positive on the border, but he's negative 15 on immigration. They are two separate things. I think they're two completely separate conversations.
Well, the thing that strikes me as odd is that even if that is true, which I don't think it is that a lot of at least the left. Because here's the thing: the right would be on your side if this was true. Is that I keep hearing this a lot that during these ICE raids is that you're accidentally grabbing a bunch of people who aren't illegal, so you're rounding up a bunch of Americans and deporting them.
Well, not deporting all the time.
Well, who? Because if that was true, even if it was one person, that person would be made a martyr and a god among the
It's
Democrats.
been dozens and dozens. There's not enough
He would
time
have
for
a book
it.
deal. He would have a book deal. They would be putting him on tours for interviews. I've yet to see that person. So if that's true,
the
how
left
come
doesn't
they
do that
can't
nearly as much
find
as the right does with Kyle Rittenhouse. But like just today, there was a story about a 25-year-old U.S. citizen, military veteran, that got detained by ICE going to work because he was a brown person next to a job site where they were doing an ICE raid. And they picked him up. They didn't listen to him. He identified himself. They still took him in. And my big thing is, I don't give a shit if you're doing deportations. That's extremely terrible. But also like detaining someone randomly with zero chance for any evidence whatsoever. And throwing them in a cage for 10 days if you're a U.S. citizen is crazy. And this has happened to over 100 U.S. citizens by now. I don't have track of it for every single example, but it's happening to enough people, and definitely permanent residents, green card holders, people on student visas who are here legally.
I feel like if it was happening to enough people, you would hear at least one instance that would be made a martyr among the Democrats.
I mean, there's so many, and Democrats are terrible at messaging. Like Republicans
there's so many. We can't point any of them out, though.
Actually, yeah. Hey, I'll tell you what though. Joe Rogan saw the video of that girl being detained at Tufts University with those 15 different ICE agents wearing the full masking on, like they're going for a top drug cartel, a kingpin. Going to pick up this PhD student because she criticized Israel 10 years ago. Everyone saw that and freaked out, like, what the hell's happening in America? I thought we're going after violent criminals, and that's why everyone hates Trump right now with immigration, because we're like, why are we going after just random brown people? I thought we were going after violent crime.
Not everyone hates Trump for going after illegal immigrants, but let me ask you this.
They're not illegal immigrants. I just said what they're going after. A random girl for her speech. Right?
No, because I'm about to agree with you, but I want your take on this. So you say they're specifically going after brown people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is that because there's only brown people trying to break into America? Is there a bunch of Norwegians and Swedish and Finnish people or Russians trying to break into America at the moment? Is there a bunch of Italians
there's hundreds of thousands. There actually are hundreds of thousands of white undocumented immigrants in America from places like Ireland and stuff.
I would be totally for getting their asses out of here.
But they're profiling people based on race and their accents right now. That's the big issue. If an American citizen has an accent, that citizen is no longer a citizen in their eyes. If someone has a accent, they call them a criminal if they have no criminal record.
Well, first of all, if you're an illegal immigrant, you do have a criminal record. The first thing you do.
You haven't graduated past that talking point yet, bro. You're still using that talking point.
What?
You're still using that talking point. You realize my whole conversation so far has been about people.
You broke the law.
You realize the whole conversation here is you break the law. You break the law.
Is that a felony? Is that a felony crime?
Hey, you break the law driving over the speed limit 2 miles per hour. Hey, you break the law driving over the speed limit 5 miles per hour. I'm not going to put you in Auschwitz because you did that. You did something illegal, but there's levels to it.
Is that a misdemeanor or is that a felony? Because if you drive over a certain, if you drive over a certain mile per hour over the speed limit, it becomes a felony.
Yeah, if you do something to an extent where you're a public safety threat, but there's different laws to sue immigration.
Is that a misdemeanor?
So let's say that's why we have immigration laws the way we do. So let's say, for example, you sneak into America out of desperation.
Is it a misdemeanor or is it a felony?
Let's say you sneak into America out of desperation.
Is it a misdemeanor or is it a felony? I just want to. I want you to answer that.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm pretty sure it's a felony because it's federal law. If you cross into this country illegally, it's a federal crime. So you become a felon.
So when we talk about like asylum laws,
every illegal immigrant is technically by law a criminal.
Yeah, it depends on the circumstances.
I know you can make the argument. Is that aggressive or is that like violent?
So I'm talking about people seeking asylum. So, for example, El Salvador, we sent dozens of people there who were seeking legal asylum in America with no criminal record. There's a gay barber we sent there. There's a gay barber we sent there. We should care about the U.S. government abusing their power to affect any human. So when we talk about
how many Americans?
Hey, calm down. You sound like you're really hyped up right now. Okay, so when we talk about these people coming to America, so hey, calm down. When these people come in here, escaping a dictatorship after being electrically shocked, and they're going through the legal process, and every MAGA supporter says go through the legal process. They're going through a legal asylum process, checking in with ICE all the time, working, paying taxes, and we pick them up randomly, profile them, and send them to El Salvador. And there's a gay barber, there's an autism tutor, there's an autism awareness advocate, there was a professional soccer player. So they're able to be here. They escaped Venezuela, for example. They make it to America. They're doing all the legal things. They're going the legal way. I thought you were for people coming in the legal way, right?
Yeah, that takes about like what, 5 to 10 years.
So when you make an
how are they
asylum
doing-
claim
how-
like
how are
that,
they
when you
doing it
hey,
within
calm down,
3
calm down,
weeks?
calm down. You're making yourself look really bad right now. Okay, so when we talk about the asylum
Yeah,
claims you get from Venezuela, calm down. You can't even be. Are you on like Monster Energy right now? When we talk about an asylum claim, someone
No,
escapes a
I'm just
dictatorship of
drinking beer.
Venezuela. The laws are constructed. You can come
Technically,
here in
it's a
America and be able to come and seek a legal asylum process. They were doing all their check-ins with ICE, doing it the right way. No criminal record. Gay barber, professional soccer player, autism awareness advocate. All these people sent to El Salvador to be tortured. And the American
Wasn't
government
the-
did that.
Wasn't
And
the
I think that
soccer
should be a
player
problem.
on an
And most
expired
Americans
visa?
disagree with this.
So that's breaking the law.
No, all these people were still going for their asylum hearings. They never even had a chance to go to court.
Wait, why would a
For the check-in.
professional soccer player be here?
He
Wait,
got tortured in
a
Venezuela for
prof- a
protesting the
professional- wait,
government.
Hold on.
He got
A
tortured for
professional
protesting
soccer player
Venezuela.
from another country is avoiding his country? That doesn't make any sense.
He got tortured for. It's a dictatorship. Are you just stupid? Are you naive? Are you like a kid? Are you 12 right now using a voice changer? Do you know what a dictatorship is? You know what Maduro is? You know what Venezuela is? You think you could protest the
I do.
government and get shocked there
I
and be tortured there and just be happy?
I was told I was bad for calling them shithole countries.
You know, you could talk about these things just by talking about them. You don't got to be gay and stupid.
I am talking. So are they shithole countries or are they not?
So when you escape a dictatorship to come to America, I think as Americans, we
Yeah,
should be
they're
appreciating
shithole
that.
countries, 'cause they're
And when someone
dictatorships, they're
follows the
shithole
asylum
countries.
laws, this is why we call you guys racist when you do this shit. I'm talking about human beings and the U.S.
How is
government,
that
right?
racist? That would probably be more in the lane of like
Because you can't
jingoism,
focus-
but I don't
because you-
even know if
okay,
that's
okay,
true because
calm
you're
down,
allowed
calm
to
down.
hate dictatorships, right?
Okay. So when we talk about the people, are
So
you saying these are
racist
shithole people?
against Nazis
Are you saying these are
only
shithole people?
because you don't
Are you
like
saying these are
Nazis?
shithole people? Are you saying these are shithole people?
Well, their country's a shithole country, so
So there's the
and-
racism. Because these are people escaping dictatorships to come to be free in America, and you hate them for no reason. And this whole time, you don't care at all about these people doing the legal process and being tortured in El Salvador by the American government.
But they're not.
And that
they're
should be a
not going
problem
to.
because you know what it does then? That discourages people. That discourages people from doing the legal process. And we should be encouraging the legal process, right?
Okay. Let me ask you a very honest question. Let's say America should save all these people from those countries, all the good people. Let's say we want to save all the good people. What's going to happen to those countries when we leave all the bad people there? Are they just going? What's going to happen to that country?
I don't care. I'm an American. I want all their good people.
Oh,
Why
you
would
don't
I
care what happens to that country? Oh, then it sounds like you and I are on the same page, bud.
But you don't care about what happens to the people who came here. That's the thing I'm talking about.
Well, the people who come here, it depends on who they are. And again, there's plenty of people.
So what I said to you, all right, legal asylum, all the check-ins, the right way. We sent them to El Salvador with no process whatsoever. We profiled them based off tattoos that said mom and dad. We profiled them based off a Real Madrid tattoo and autism awareness tattoo and sent them to be tortured in El Salvador randomly. That is bad, right?
Cops are not that dumb when it comes to profiling tattoos. And
Is that bad?
Okay.
Is it bad that we did that?
Here's the thing. I would be on your side if that were true, but the problem is that your side goes, yeah, they're doing that, and we're deporting Americans, we're spiriting people away off the streets.
Okay, so this
that are
has no
American.
connection to the other thing. We can talk about El Salvador. So Andre is one of the names of the people. And there's actually a video of Andre being held down and shaved. There's pictures from their social media account and everything like that. So Andre Hernandez Romero, innocent man, was sent to rot in El Salvador with no trial to be tortured by the El Salvadorian government. And Lord knows what happened to him when he was put into this prison. So that's one person we know for sure. And it's bad that happened, right?
And like you said, I'm an American. I don't give a shit what another government
It's bad that
does to
happened,
its
right?
own people. I don't care what another government does to
I
its
do
own
care.
people.
I do care about that. But when it comes to America, we shipped this person to El Salvador. They're not from El Salvador, right? We sent them to a prison to be tortured, saying they are gang members.
Here's the thing. America
But you just don't care about
supremacist.
human beings is the issue. You just don't give a
No,
shit at all,
no,
or even about America. Because I said
no,
before,
here's
if you care about our immigration system, we should follow laws as a government. The government should not follow laws. We should be following laws as well to encourage legal activities. But we as a government are not upholding our half of the bargain. We're not doing our job.
My biggest concern is that America is a white supremacist country, and I don't want a bunch of South Americans or Africans or people coming to a white supremacist country where they're going to be racist at.
Do you just talk to people on
sounds
Twitter?
Terrible.
You just talk to people on Twitter? Because like right now, I'm talking about some real stuff, and you keep on running away from you keep running away in irony. You're hiding behind irony right now because you don't have any good points. You can't even just admit like that's bad.
That's the irony of this situation. Is irony unfortunately runs the world at this point.
Okay, cool.
No, I mean it is funny.
It is ironic that Trump got elected to expose all the child sex traffickers, but he is one. You know, that's irony.
Yeah,
that's
and I'm very disappointed in that. But here's the thing: I never thought there was going to be anything anyway because Biden had it for 4 years and didn't even talk about it.
Trump hid it. Jeffrey Epstein died under Trump's watch, and Trump hid the tapes. How do you think they found the tapes again after Trump came back? Trump hid the tapes. That's under Biden they had no tapes of the cell, but now they have cell tape again. Trump must have took it.
Dude, Biden, if they had anything on Trump, especially if because you remember Elon said that Trump's in the files. If they're saying that now, that after 4 years of Biden, and they wanted Trump to be in prison so bad, why wouldn't they just do that during the 4 years of Biden? If they really did not want Trump,
Donald Trump said publicly. Well, Trump promised there was an elite pedophile ring that he was going to expose himself. So that's a Trump thing. Biden never campaigned on that. But also, Trump was talking about this even before it was an issue. He was like, when he was talking about Clinton, he was like, "Oh, Bill Clinton's going to have a big problem." He was trying to defend himself. He was going to protect himself. He was going to protect himself. I understand. Trying to be self.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If Trump is implicated, yeah, then go fuck him. Here's the thing.
You would.
Here's the thing. Trump has a lot of wins. This is the only thing I'm very disappointed about. But I never thought
was sending the innocent men to El Salvador to be tortured. Was that a win?
I'm sorry. What?
Sending the innocent men to El Salvador to be tortured. Was that a win? To torture them?
Were they El Salvadorians or were they Americans?
The Venezuelans. Can you listen? Okay, Venezuelans came here, escaped dictatorship. Okay. Was it bad to send those innocent people to El Salvador once they got to America, working their asses off, doing everything right? No due process whatsoever. Accidentally, if you want to say, sending them to El Salvador to be tortured. Is that bad?
Were they Venezuelan citizens?
They were not El Salvadorian. They were seeking asylum here.
My point being is, what country did they belong to?
They escaped they escaped Venezuela.
Okay, so then they're not my problem. They're the Venezuelan government's problem.
I thought you cared about immigration laws.
I don't care. Do you care about
you don't care about laws. You don't give a shit about laws. You're a big government cuck.
Do you care about North Korea starving its people? You care about North Korea?
I care about America and American laws being followed, and if we should follow our laws and respect our Constitution.
I care about people. Here's the thing. I like immigrants.
Is it bad we sent innocent people to be tortured in El Salvador? Is it bad? We said they were MS-13. So if the government comes and kills your family, you could just say innocent people die all the time. You would not have an issue with that. You can't say if it's good or bad.
My family's not Venezuelan, and
so
they're not part of another country.
So if your family was Venezuelan, it'd be okay, is what you're saying.
Well, here's the problem.
That's what you're saying. Okay, I understand people like you. I get people like you. I understand it.
You're not gonna like the story that I'm about to tell you. If you want to listen to it.
Okay, one more time. Is it bad the U.S. government, without any due process, violating the Constitution, took people from American soil who were here, innocent people, okay, doing the legal process for asylum, these Venezuelans? Is it bad we sent them to be tortured in El Salvador? Is it bad? Just generally, is it bad?
No, the problem is your term of the use of due process. What is due process?
They did not even check an ID or a single piece of paperwork. They rushed them onto a plane. They rushed them onto a plane. So when we talk about... Okay,
you are
so
not a legal citizen of America. Your due process.
You do get due process. You get due process. If you're being sent to a prison, you get due process in America. And regardless, do you think it's bad we sent innocent people? Do you think it's bad the American government? Hey, buddy. Do you think it's
Bye-bye,
bad
buddy.
the American government
Bye.
sent innocent people to be tortured in El Salvador? If you're going to say bye-bye, you're going to lose every election in the world because people are going to hate your ass. Because people are
I'm
not
an
as evil as
American.
you are.
I don't have a hand in what other governments do.
You know,
That's
it's
not
our
my issue.
asylum
That's not
law.
my
It's
problem.
no, we took them
And
there.
it's not my duty to save the entire world. It's not my duty
our
to
tax
save the
dollars.
entire world.
Hey, we pay our tax dollars to El Salvador. We pay for this. Our tax dollars pay for this. We pay for the flights. We sent innocent
but
people
also
there.
you would cry that like, oh, you don't want isolationists.
Hey, calm down. Hey, buddy. This is why Trump won. This is why Trump won, because you're brain dead. You're brain dead. You're brain dead, kid. You're brain dead. This is why Trump won. So please,
No, you're retarded.
engage with the. Oh, buddy, you have to bring it. You're falling apart so fast.
Not
Oh,
at all.
buddy. Yeah, you
You
are.
couldn't even handle the Indian
Your
guy
voice.
that was talking to you.
No, we can
sounded like he
hear.
got here
We can
fucking 2
hear
weeks
your
ago when he was
fragility in
explaining
your
you on
voice.
American
You are melting
policy.
down right now. We can hear your fragile
Not
voice
at all.
cracking right
Not at
now.
all.
You're losing
Well, how about
confidence
this? Let's
because you
get a little
know that
bit more
you're going
friendly
down
with this.
shit's
I
creek
am
without a
actually
paddle.
curious. How's
Without
your
any
hernia
paddle.
going?
And now you gotta swim through the shit in the creek. That's all you gotta do.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
You're up shit's creek without a paddle.
No, you're trying to save the entire world. You can't, dude. You try to save everybody, you end up saving
No,
nobody.
I asked you about one thing, about one person, a couple people that were from Venezuela.
Yeah, and
innocent
I told
people.
you that's not my people. That's not my government. I don't care.
It is your
I don't.
government. Okay, the American government took these people on a plane, said they were gang members, gave them to El Salvador, and paid El Salvador to hold them and torture them.
The people on the plane. The people on the plane. What country do they belong to? The people on the plane.
When you talk about people on American soil, so if you
What
go on a trip
country
to,
do the people on the plane belong to? Answer me.
so
Riddle
if
me
you
that,
go
Batman.
to Canada, for example, on vacation.
Oh my God! See, you're dodging the fucking question. You're calling
I'm not
me a
dodging the
retard.
question.
Like
You have
fucking-
okay. Calm down, because you care about big government. I care about big government. So let's talk about if you go to a
Democrats
country.
love big government.
Calm down. Come on. You gotta go to
Who
bed. All right, you gotta
were
go to
the
bed. You
people
gotta go to
being
bed.
deported
You gotta
on
go
the
to bed.
plane?
You gotta go to bed. You gotta go to bed. He melted down real bad at the end of that conversation. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Let's see if I got any donations. If I got a $5 donation, I'll keep going. Nope, I did not get a $5 donation, guys. I can't keep going now. So sad. Wait. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. If you want to donate to Jolah Politics, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Subscribe to the channel. We need more subscribers. We have 220 likes. We have 500 viewers. I gotta keep going. Oh shit. Come on. Answer.
Call from.
This is Jolah Politics. We take political calls. Hello?
Hello?
Howdy.
Yes. I'm the person that was speaking about 2 calls ago. I just wanted to say
I don't
something
care about your
real
dumbass.
quick.
I don't care about your dumbass. Get out of here. Okay, someone else calling. I don't want to talk to friggin' that one SpongeBob fish. I forget which one had the accent. I'm sorry. Make fun of me. Bring up Hank Hill or something.
Hey, how's it going there? Hey,
How's it going there? Dude, answer the call. We had 500 viewers for a second. It's going back down. Someone call me. Please. Guys. We're going to lose viewership. If I lose viewership, I'm gonna die. Answer. Hello?
Hey, it's Josh. Leave a message at the
Oh, no. Guys, I need phone callers for the debates, okay? Please call. Have a conversation about America. It does not need to be a debate. Come on, don't leave. Come on, please like the stream. Please like the stream. Don't leave. Please don't leave. Guys, stay here and watch. You really don't care. You're Jolah. Thank you. Join Discord, guys. Join Discord. It's in my channel descriptions. Why are... This is really upsetting, bro. Hello? 1 second. Hi. Hi.
Hey, I've been listening to you for a minute here now. My name is Roman, by the way. I kind of, get a little perturbed with your kind of roller coaster ride between, the humanity aspect, and then also not showing humanity, you know? So kind of like how you put everybody, if they're Trump supporter, kind of under one basket, right? You know? So I think it's a little bit kind of extreme on your part. Do you think?
I don't think so. If you still support Trump at this point, very strongly, especially after the Epstein stuff, I think it's really hard to judge someone's character in terms of what they view America as, because I feel like they'd have to be an authoritarian by nature, and probably they want bad things for the country. And independents are not like that, because I bring up Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, a lot of these podcasters who are going pretty anti-Trump right now for pretty reasonable reasons. But anyone who cannot criticize Trump in an honest way and who cannot consider other viewpoints, I would definitely put them into that basket.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, I voted for Trump, and I'm probably the most unlikely person to vote for him.
Okay.
I'm an immigrant myself. I've been in the United States for 20 years. When I came here to the United States, it was a completely different place than it is now. I love the United States the way it used to be. I watched the change. I'll confess I'm Russian, originally born in Russia, raised in Russia. Came here 20 years ago, served in the military there. Then came here, served in the military here. And the world, it's a completely different place now. But as far as you're right, you got to criticize even for someone you voted. I wouldn't find myself like a person that wouldn't criticize anybody. I was the same person that I can criticize Putin, same way I would criticize Trump. I mean, if there's, what I'm saying is that there's, you talked earlier about the rule of the land, and enforcing the laws. So I think one of the problems right now is that we're trying to legislate our way out of it, giving the government more power, more laws, but none of them being enforced. I think one of the things I liked initially that what Trump was saying was that he's all about enforcing the laws that are already there, right? As far as the immigration laws goes, okay? Is there faults? Oh yeah, absolutely. The immigration system in America is being long messed up, and that's not a secret from anybody. It's well known, right? But I think enforcing some of the laws is the number one thing. A lot of legal immigrants, such as myself, the ones that earned it, whether serving in the military or coming here in the legal pathway, are kind of irritated with the way the things are. But I'm also one of those people that I also believe that I also don't respect on the Republican side to say all across the board that all immigrants are bad, right? And why I'm saying that is that fortunately for Mexico, right, or any other country that is really close to the border, for them it's easier to come here, right, legally or illegally. And I can't blame even the illegals. I don't blame them because we can talk about I think there is a little racial thing there for sure, because they're different looking, and for them they're really close. And it's kind of weird that we have, like, if you look at surrounding countries around Russia, I'm from Vladivostok, and we kind of had a similar problem in the early 2000s in Vladivostok, because I grew up from about 3 miles away from, it's about 7 kilometers away from the border of China, and about 37 kilometers away from border of North Korea. And Vladivostok up until 1997, 1998 was filled to a percentage of like maybe up to even 52% of the population of the whole city was Asian, right? So,
Okay.
and we had some of that racial animosity towards, because they're different looking, right? And you can't say that immigration is like that. There is no racial point to it, because there is, absolutely is. I experienced that not only in the United States but in Russia as well. But just because other countries, if the other countries were closer to here, they would also. I mean, if you look at the statistics, I was reading about it, read a document where it was stating that, there's Russians, there's Asians, Chinese, of every Asian culture, every country, they're coming in through that border as well because it's so close and it's easy, right? So as far as saying that there is no racial thing about it is just kind of like I agree 100%. That there is racial factor to it because they look different and it's easy for us to pick them out. Whatever.
Well, the government's wrongly detaining people who are brown and who speak Spanish, who are American citizens. So they're
That's
profiling
true.
people.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's true.
and
That's
that's
what
one
I'm
of the big
saying.
issues people are having. And also the thing Americans don't care about laws. They really don't. They care more about, and no one understands immigration laws, but also Americans don't want to see innocent people, and by innocent, I mean non-public safety threats who are working their asses off, be torn apart by ICE agents and have someone at an immigration court hearing get their status revoked, because that's what's happening. They're having traps in immigration courts, taking away protective status or asylum status or whatever it might be, and detaining them right there as if they are like a top criminal or something that needs to be detained instantly, not even giving like a future leave date.
Well, that's where I have to pause you for a second, because that's those cases, they're so far few in between. And that's
They used
a fact.
to be. They used to be,
No,
not anymore. The Trump
it never.
administration-
No. It never used to be. It was always like that. But it was hush hush. It was all done on hush hush. It would never be advertised, right?
No,
but
that's
I
not
will
true.
tell you.
The numbers,
I will. No,
we have
no.
numbers.
I've gone to
We have
immigration
numbers.
court.
We have
No,
numbers. We have
I've gone
numbers.
to immigration court many times, and let me tell you,
ICE
the case
agents were
in
never
that
wearing
has been
masks,
for,
right? They were always identifiable before. Before Trump, this administration, they were not coming out of unmarked vehicles with no cameras at all and no markings on no way to identify the ICE officers. That was never a thing before.
Well, yeah, because, well, I agree with you on that. And that's kind of the same thing with municipalities. Like, for example, I'll tell you, you go anywhere in Europe, and I've been all over the world, just in my jobs and stuff. But I will tell you, if you go to any other country around the world, and it doesn't even matter with U.S. policing system, it's all like that. You go anywhere in Europe, you go anywhere in Asia, all the vehicles are the same color, no matter what county, what state, what city you're in.
No,
it
but you
always
don't,
doesn't
no,
say
but these,
it just says police, and it's
these
smart
agents,
that way. It's all in the.
I'm talking to someone else, dude. I'm not doing that. He talked for 90% of the time. I'm talking to someone else. I'm not doing it. Someone else call in. Phone line's open. I want to be able to get a word in about anything. I let him talk for the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I wanted to talk about one point, and he wanted to treat it as his show. It is open again. Call lines are open. 259 likes. We never got 300. Why does it matter if ICE has masks? Because we want federal agents to identify themselves when they're ripping people off the street, and they're detaining American citizens. If you don't understand why law enforcement should be identifiable, you're not a real American. Move to Russia. Move to China. Move to a country where we don't have protections. If you're that stupid and brain dead. Hello.
What's up?
Nothing much, are you?
Good.
Nice.
Well, let me just start off by saying that I just recently turned 18 years old, so I'm not really I haven't even voted yet, but based off of like what I've read and what I've heard, and my dad's a big Trump supporter too, so
sure.
And I can say that I don't think Trump is racist at all. I think he wants to set certain boundaries. I think he wants people to come into this country legally, and he wants the people that came in illegally to handle their business. They want to get an ID, to become an American citizen, to get what they need to get. I don't think he's racist at all. I think that's a big misconception.
So, when Trump was running for president, when he talked about the Haitians in Ohio eating cats and dogs, and he called them savages with zero evidence at all, do you think that was racist at all?
I think some things like that can be taken out of context. I think people made that seem like it was something else that was not made out to be. I don't think he was trying to be a racist. I think he was just saying like what they were doing to try and survive and what they were doing to try, get to
But
place
it
to
was
place.
not true at all, though. It did not happen. Those are things you say about people you want to label as savages. There was no truth at all to those stories. None of the evidence backed that up, and Trump continued to say that until this day. He never corrected himself. So if you want to say Haitian immigrants, by the way, they have the lowest crime rate, I think, of any group in America. They have a crime rate 1/5, only like 20% of what American citizens are. They are here to work their asses off, and they want to be able to survive here in America. And the fact Trump labeled them as savages who eat cats and dogs and random pets and everything, especially when they repopulated all the Catholic churches in the area, that demonization is kind of bad. And when Trump says things like, "You can tell someone's a criminal just by looking at him," do you think when you say, you can tell someone's a criminal just by looking at him, it seems like something someone would say if they want to say, oh, that person is, he's black or brown or he's tattoos, therefore we know he's a criminal, without any due process, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think that can be taken out of context sometimes, and I can
But
somewhat
that's not
agree.
out of
Like
context, though. That's not out of context. It's very in context.
no, I just mean like sometimes like things that are said, things that he say can be taken like the wrong way, but sometimes some things he says are like like, and you like kind of like question it, and I can agree like some of the things he says like I question. So yeah, but yeah, that is a little suspicious. I can definitely agree with that.
When he says immigrants are poisoning the blood of America, which is quoted from Adolf Hitler, it is a Hitler quote, poisoning the blood of America. Usually if I say I want immigrants to come in legally, I say things like, we need a strong border and a common sense immigration program that works for legal immigrants and gives people who are here working currently a path to citizenship. And we need America to be strong. We need to go after criminals, make America safer and stronger. I'll say that. I would never say these are savages and vermin eating cats and dogs. We could tell they're criminals just by looking at them. And also, they're poisoning the blood of America. They're collapsing our whole civilization. So I would never say that to talk about immigration policy or making strong borders. So when he says poison the blood of America, what imagery do you get?
Damn, dude, you kind of got me stumped on that.
That's a deep question, by the way. That's a really deep question. I do politics a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm 25, so I'm not like, a lot older than you. When I was, 18, I was just focusing on playing basketball and running track all the time. So I'm playing NBA 2K and freaking Fortnite and shit.
And
so that's a tough question.
Yeah, and like I said, like I'm not like deep into the politic world, but just like I said at the beginning, like like stuff I've heard, like stuff I've read online, like stuff I hear my dad talk about. It's just like, yeah, I know like somewhat, but like I'm not like deep into it,
No, I mean, my channel, I try to, I have any conversation. So if someone, I usually match energy for people that come in. So, people that want to talk about, and I appreciate you letting me know like how much you understand about politics and stuff, because I don't want to press you too hard or anything. I'm not going to expect you to have tons of answers right away. So I'll try to have more leading questions, because these are questions I had to ask myself, because I'm from a very conservative area, like an area that went 80% Trump. And like 90% of my family are still super big Trump supporters, conservatives and stuff. So I understand a lot of the culture, a lot of the mindsets and everything. But I kind of asked myself these questions, and I ended up on the other side, and a lot of stuff on the left makes me cringe. There is a lot of soy boy activities on the left. But there's also a lot of principled reasons why I support, the things I do support, and I believe the things things I believe. So if you have anything else you want to talk about or any questions, definitely feel free.
Yeah. And like I said, like, yeah, I do like, I'm kind of like supportive of Trump. It's just like, but I can respect like when I hear like a different standpoint on somebody else's side, like when, like you say you support Biden, like I can appreciate and like have like, have like a sense of understanding of like why you support them, But like I don't really respect when people just like talk when they don't know what they're talking about, So I can like come line to line with that.
Well, too many people talk about shit they don't know. People have a lot of opinions, and I'm very well. I've said this a lot when I was going through school and stuff, because I have like a master's in public policy, and I don't think it does that much, obviously, because anyone can go through different schools and get degrees and stuff. It doesn't mean you know anything. It might mean you know something. I mean, it depends on who it is and how they learned it. But I would always say like if I don't understand something about politics, then my like uncle who knew nothing probably did not understand it at that point, and he was super confident about it. And I was always asking questions. And in politics, it's hard because they want you to have answers right away. They want you to be confident about it. They want you to be here for breaking news and understand what the right answer is 24/7. TikTok and 10-second clips and YouTube Shorts and whatever else is the attention economy. And our conversations are so brain numbing and brain dead because we can never have the full the full conversation. It's all about sound bites and a bunch of memes and AI bullshit. So yeah, and it's hard when you could pick issues you care about. So like for me, it was healthcare. I grew up a lot of people who were affected by the opioid epidemic or like alcoholism, a lack of healthcare, a lack of jobs. So I really care about those things. I care about the rich not having too much power over the poor. I think it's a freedom issue. It's also a resource issue. I don't want Jeff Bezos having 80,000 super yachts and super cars and whatever else he might buy. I think we should never have a person we're the richest country in human history. No one in America should be without a house or without healthcare or whatever, or without a job. It's just one thing I hold pretty dear, and I think that makes a stronger country. It makes safer communities. I want my neighbors to be happy, because if my neighbors are happy, I'll be happy. So these are some things I had to work through, definitely growing up.
Kind of the same with me. I grew up, for the first part of my life with my mother, and then she went down a really bad path with like drugs and addiction and stuff. So yeah, I've like been around that, and she had her struggles, and my aunt and cousins have had their struggles, and my dad has had his struggles. He was in the military, and he suffers with like anxiety, depression, and PTSD. So yeah, I can definitely like see like eye to eye with that for sure.
Yeah, a lot of people do too. A lot of people do, but they have different enemies they blame. So like Trump supporters usually blame immigrants for almost everything. I'd say the far left blames the ultra wealthy for almost everything. Now I blame the ultra wealthy for a lot of things. Not everything. I'm not like a socialist or anything. But there is a mix of issues. It's very dynamic. It's very intertwined. A lot of different influences. Anyone who blames everything on only one issue and only one issue as the main enemy, or blames immigrants or whoever else, just got to be careful. We got to have a productive way to work through things, to actually have a way to come out on the other end better. Because we could punch a bunch of holes in the wall, but it's not going to really do anything. Even if it feels good to punch something, we should probably choose our target wisely and work our way out of it in a more intelligent way.
Yeah, I actually, my job is I actually work at a gas station, and Hispanic people come in all the time and like buy stuff, and this gentleman was talking with me today about how like they like only pay with cash and not with card, and he was talking about like work visas because they can't set up bank accounts, and I was like talking with him about it, and then once he left, I just thought to myself like you shouldn't like talk about them like that, because a lot of people, they can't really control it that much, It just kind of like stuck with me. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's the thing. I look at a lot of polling, and one big thing that I've noticed is the area that I grew up in, the 80% Trump County, there's not many immigrants at all. So someone there probably never met an immigrant. They probably never met like a gay person. They probably only met like one black person. So in these areas, they're very anti all those groups. They're very anti-immigrant in areas that don't have immigrants. But in cities or an area that I live in now, where I'm around more immigrants, people in these areas are more pro-immigrant. So if you know immigrants, you are usually very pro-immigration. But if you never knew immigrants, then you can be taught to not like them, or to talk about them in a certain way. Like you said, you have interactions in person, and that changes your perspective. Because if you never met people in that situation, if you just trusted what the news said about them, if we trust what the news says about each other, all we're gonna do is fight, and we can never actually come together and work on making society better. And I deliver packages on the side for like Amazon and DoorDash and stuff to just like use my own personal car for like a little fun little trips. And I have not seen one white person in the Amazon factory yet to get my boxes. I have not seen one white person. I've been doing it for like a month. I've not seen one white person. Everyone there has an accent. Most of them probably speak Spanish. I don't know if they are Dominican, Puerto Rican. I don't know. I'm really bad at identifying that. But in general, these are all immigrants. Many of them are delivering all these packages out in rural areas. Many of them are doing a lot of tough jobs, and that's not to say there's not any issues. Of course, there can be some issues, but there's no reason to treat immigrants as if they're a stain on America.
Yeah, of course. A lot of people like to discriminate and talk say racist remarks and make jokes, but they work their asses off. Like I said, I work at a gas station. I see a bunch of people that come in. They have jobs with pools. They have jobs with roofing, landscaping, whatever it is. They work their asses off, for real. And I don't understand how people can make fun of something like that. Then you kind of what you were saying earlier, you don't know what some people are going through,
Yeah, it's angry, scared, paranoid people, and they I know from personal experience, when you would say something like I want to accept people from different backgrounds, or when I said that I'm pro gay marriage and stuff, you have adults and they'll say, "Oh, you're one of those liberal pussies," or they'll just bust your balls nonstop, or they'll make you feel like you're a dick, or you're not in the group because you have different opinions, and it's it is a more it's not that it's not a. I would agree with people who say it's a more feminine trait to care about people. I'm not gonna lie, because men are more strong-headed, bold-headed. They're more likely to solve things with strength over intelligence. I would say that about men, and a lot of men would agree. A lot of dads would agree because it's a big dad thing. And then the mom's the more caring one. So I think it is a more thoughtful idea to care for more people and to take experiences into account. And that's how we view it in society. But it really shouldn't be. It shouldn't be viewed that way as a masculine or feminine or you're cool or you're not cool or you're whatever. America was founded on everybody caring about core foundational beliefs on how you treat people in general. When we came to America, there's a reason our Western cities are called Las Vegas and Los Angeles and all these different areas. Our entire country was trailblazed by immigrants. It was not illegal to be an immigrant in our country for forever. That's a pretty modern thing. We used to have no borders for most of our country. For most of our country's development, we had no borders at all. So we need to restructure in every generation the new way we think about things. And that's not to say we should have open borders. I don't think anyone is in favor of that at all. They say we are for Democrats, but I don't know anyone that actually is in favor of that. You can have a process and still do the right thing. We have the ability. It's 2025. We're on the cusp of having robot alien techno suits to make us jump like freaking Iron Man, and we're fighting over the dumbest possible shit 24/7.
Yeah, it's it's a whole process, man, and it was definitely cool to conversate with you.
Yeah, definitely. And I was gonna say, you go.
Yeah, it was definitely cool to because kind of what you were telling me earlier, it kind of changed my perspective a little bit, And I think, but I definitely have more to learn and more to look into,
Yeah, and I got liberal friends that are pro-gun, anti-gun. I got liberal friends that are pro-life, but they're still pro-choice legally. Although personally, they would never have an abortion. I got friends that there's a lot of different beliefs you could have along the spectrum. I got conservative friends, so. But I have conservative friends who are not going to vote Trump again because they don't like how he's treating immigrants. Ronald Reagan, if you look up Ronald Reagan, he was a conservative, right? He's a Republican. He spoke about immigrants as a huge benefit to America. America's the shining house on a hill or whatever Reagan said. I forget. I was not alive. But yeah, Reagan. Even the Republican debate 30 years ago, they spoke very kindly about immigrants. It's really interesting. If you do you use Discord at all?
I don't know.
If you ever are, doing whatever, working or whatever, Discord is like a chat app. There's text chats in there, and there's
I know.
There's voice chats. Oh yeah, you know it is. Yeah, we have a Discord for the channel. There's always at least 5 or 10 people at night talking about politics. If you ever want to go in and meet some people that we have in our community, anyone watching as well, it's under my my stream description, and also if you go on my channel under my video. So go on one of my regular videos, go in the description, and you'll see a Discord invite link for anyone that wants to join it. But yeah, I appreciate the call. Definitely hope you come around watching again.
Yeah, for sure. I do have to go, but yeah, thanks, man. I do appreciate it.
All right, have a great night.
All right. All right, you too.
All right, guys, final call. What a nice What a nice call to end the night. See, the truth is, I'm the left. Oh, thank you so much, Terry, for $10. Thank you so much for $10, Terry. Thank you so much for $5, Corey. Anyone that wants to donate, Jolah Politics, Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. We're at 283 likes. That's a new record. That's a new record on a Thursday. A new record on a Thursday. 284 likes. I never got 284 likes on a stream. 284. Thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. How much is the DNC paying you? Nothing. The DNC would hate me. I'm way too off the cuff. I wish. 284. Why did he delete his comment? The DNC pays me well. 286 likes is crazy, bro. I'm gonna get 300 tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. All right, tomorrow on Friday, we're gonna get 300 likes. 287. 287. Thank you. But yeah, if you want to support the stream, join Discord, hit subscribe, drop a like. Jolah Politics, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. I'm pretty sure after today's donations, we're at 6% out of the 100% goal. The goal down below for anyone who's new to the channel, 288 likes. Oh, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I was not going to stream tonight. I was in bed exhausted. So before regular work, I woke up at 4 a.m. to deliver Amazon, and then I went to regular work. So I'm exhausted. So I was not going to stream, but I got a sudden burst of encouragement after my so-called co-host, not anymore, Pisco, did not come. But then I got a burst of energy and came here, and now we had a huge-ass stream, and I really appreciate it. 294? 294 likes? Dude, I feel like I want to wait till tomorrow to get 300. I want to wait till tomorrow. We're at 294. We're too close. But anyways, Jolah Politics, we do politics discussions all the time. I'm like a TikTok streamer on YouTube. On TikTok, I'm Jolah Politics too, if you use TikTok. TikTok, Jolah Politics. Please go follow me there. Same as my YouTube, Jolah Politics. And also Jolah Politics for Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Or at the coffee link if you want to use a credit card or debit to donate. Or you could become a Patreon member in my descriptions as well. Join Discord or become a channel member on my YouTube. Super chats, whatever else it might be. Really appreciate all the support. The goal number down below is for the end of the year. So we have 5 more months for it. So it's a $10,000 goal. It includes all the donations I get from memberships now and through the apps and YouTube and whatever else. Once I hit that number, I'll be in a new studio by then. Maybe sooner. You are a super cuck? Thank you. I'm not deleting you, Steve. YouTube deleted monetization for AI shorts. They deleted it. I was watching a Linus Tech Tips video. Look up Linus Tech Tips. They were talking about it. Apparently, it's for repetitive content. So you can still do AI if it's like a high effort thing. It's kind of like what TikTok does. But yeah, thanks for the heads up. But I had a good. This was actually a really good stream. I had a good title too. Trump exposed by huge WSJ leaked letter to Epstein. Tough luck. What's wrong with you? What the hell? Can you even say the F-bomb in my chat? I didn't know that. Gavin Newsom. Oh yeah, I talked to Hutch today. I should probably go rip that conversation off and upload it. Yeah, I talked to Hutch earlier. I hopped on a stream really quick to talk about the debate they had with Vanguard and stuff. No one banned you, Steve. If we banned you, you would not be here. I can unban you. No one else really can. You silly goose. But yeah, Hutch was really cool earlier. I don't know if I'm closer to Hutch or the other people on the Live and Learn with my ideology. I'm probably closer to Hutch in my pragmatism, but closer to them in my ideology, maybe. I don't know. I was definitely banned. Steve, are you just a little conservative cuck? Can you calm down, Steve? You don't gotta be a cuck. Don't be a cuck. You watch Hutch? Hutch is a good calming streamer. If I want to watch like a dad, like a dad who does not have kids, Grandpa Hutch, I call him Grandpa Hutch. I don't think he likes it. I don't think he likes it, but I'm gonna keep on calling him it. 298 likes. Okay, I want to get 300 tomorrow if we can. Watch me get no viewers tomorrow. I don't know. We peaked at 900 viewers. That was cool. All right, we're at 298 likes. I'm going to cut it now. High record, 298. 299. Okay, I got to quit before we get 300. Good night, guys. See you tomorrow. I'll be on tomorrow at like 10 p.m., 9:30 p.m. My Amazon shift ends at 8:30, so I'll be on after that. All right. Oh, we hit 300. God. You guys suck, dude. You guys suck. I want to hit 300 tomorrow, dude. We got to hit 400 tomorrow. 300 likes on a stream is crazy, though. 301? You guys got extra accounts. All right. W300. 302. Bro. Okay, I do progressive politics. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. We will be back tomorrow. Look at that. Sometimes you have good streams when you least expect it. How beautiful. Using incendiary topics for monetary gain, fomenting negative energy for profit, a special place in hell for that. Shut up, Bruce. You're such a little cuck. Shut the Nice. Truth. Thank you. I appreciate it. Wante, Suri. Who's new? Who's new in this chat? What's your Discord? It's in my video description. If you go on my channel and you look at just go under my video. I don't get any YouTube viewers because I'm a TikToker on YouTube, basically. On YouTube Shorts. But yeah, here's the link. I don't know if you could join off this, but here's the link for it. If you can't join off it, I have 304 likes, bro. You're new? Hell yeah. Ryan the Destroyer, you're not blocked. Do you want attention? You want attention. But yeah, under my videos. I'm new, 2 news, 3 new. Hell yeah, 4 new. Thank you. We need Joe Biden back. I don't know if Joe Biden's coming back, man. We need young Joe Biden. Do you realize if Joe Biden ran in 2016, Trump would have lost all 50 states? He would have lost 48 states, bro. It would, dude. Bro. And through hitting a sore spot, I got a shout out. Yay, me. Good job, Bruce. I'm proud of you. You're new, Sean. Nice. Thank you. Another new? Nice. Thank you. Melina, are you a big channel? Why is your name highlighted? Is it because you're a big channel? No? Why is your name highlighted? I'm confused. What are you? You're verified? Or are you just verified? How do you get verification at that size? How does it work? No way. Obama. I'd rather have a... I don't even know. You validated you're a human. Can anyone do that? Oh. Interesting. Alright, well thank you all the... Come on, dude. Chill. We're gonna have to add a new mod, maybe. Who wants to be a mod? Who's up for the running? I don't know if Kate wants to be a mod. I don't know if Kate would want to do it. Thank you. I can't add too many mods because sometimes I don't have good streamers. If I don't have good streams, I'm like good stream numbers. If I have a small stream and I have too many mods, it looks all silly. Yeah, Kate does not want to be a mod C. Who still needs one? I don't even know. All right, join Discord. I'll probably hop in there for like 20 minutes. No, I know you wouldn't. You don't want to have to fight all that. I am considering if my next few streams go good, just really quick. I'm considering having a members only horizontal stream. So the vertical will be for anyone that doesn't have a membership and for anyone that wants to be in the super active chat. And then I could have like a membership stream that'll be the horizontal. So then it's encouragement to buy the membership for the channel, and then you could have like a really calm chat with just members, and then yeah, it's not gonna kill my viewership for the horizontal too much. Who wants that? Channel members, who wants that? Anyone want that? A mod break room? Yeah. Basically. All members can talk now. You want a horizontal chat? I gotta fix my camera. My camera looks like crap. I'm not gonna lie, guys. waiting for Pisco tonight and then getting no response at all. Well, he did respond, okay? I was asking what's up. He just said, hey, 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 at 9 Ps. Pisco said, hey, 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 and never responded after that. He literally read my message saying, hey, do you have a time? And he said, hey, hey, hey. Never responded. Freaking idiot. Get him on Vyvanse if he's not. It does sound good. Like, come on, dude. Oh, wait. Not everyone's a channel member. I'll do subscribers. It is rude. After that, I kind of don't want to do anything with people. I'm not going to lie. I feel like just having, I want people to come to me. I think I'm better at this than a lot of these people. I'm not going to lie. I think I'm better at these conversations. And I want to be able to have a platform where I can have two people answering calls. Want to can talk. Cause like, what if I wanted to invite like Hutch, for example? If I had a channel, if I had a show name, like if I called it like Let's Talk Politics, and I had a call in where you can call into like a Zoom room or something with a phone number, that'd be really cool. So I would be able to invite people onto my show and have it be my show and have collaborations in that way. I'll still do it with Pisco again. But yeah, I'm definitely not waiting until the last second and not getting any responses at all. Again, I'm not doing that again. Hell no. Tom Fuller, dude, I talked to Tom Fuller my whole life. What is Tom doing right now?
Very
He's
rich
watching the
dude.
Tom Fuller debate.
But so this is, I'm just beginning my research. I haven't started yet. I just wanted to see like where you were at, like where.
I'm not gonna lie. I stole Tom's entire formula. That's all. That's the reason my channel blew up a little bit. Like I stole the YouTube short format, but I went hardcore with the phone calls, and that's what got me my little jump in viewership. I went hard with the phone calls, but I got the whole YouTube short idea from Tom Foolery, obviously. All right, guys, have a good night. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, appreciate it. 308 likes, bro. 308. 308 likes. You message Tom and say that we'll collab on nothing. 309. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, I don't know. Maybe. I can't believe Pisco said, hey, hey, hey. That shit's crazy, bro. All right, join Discord, guys. Under my video description, join Discord. I'm removing the wait time to become a member. I don't even care. Everyone that's in Discord right now, I'm giving you access to the thing. You don't gotta wait. I don't care. 1 second. Let me add you, guys. Oh, wait. No one joined recently. That's 1050, 1050, 1051. I'll fix that then. Make sure you verify yourself when you join Discord. You have to verify yourself. Oh, I see what happened. All right. I'll fix that later. All right, guys. Thank you again. Have a good night. See you tomorrow. 312 likes. 312? Horizontal mod. All right. See you guys. Yeah, I don't want to stress you guys out too much in the regular chat. All right. See you guys.